No. Okay, there we go. You good? He's got us now. We're good. I always struggle with that too. You hit the on button. The on button throws me off.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask all those who are able to please rise. Remove your hats.
Ran up by the Lux Nessa up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet. You could diabetic. They mouth with.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Las Vegas ballpark as we get ready for Game 2 of the 2025 Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. Tonight, the matchup of two teams that switch conferences this offseason. The Texas Longhorns in the SEC get ready to take on the University of Washington from the Big Ten. And we welcome you inside our broadcast booth here at Las Vegas Ballpark. With Mike Rooney, I'm Mike Farron. Runes our first game, maybe not the cleanest game, but certainly an entertaining one, as Texas Tech got off the mat and rallied to beat Illinois 10-6.
Yeah, I mean, Illinois feels very much like a team that's going to be in the hunt for regionals, and Texas Tech, this could be a great start for them developing some momentum. There's plenty of talent on that roster.
Well, let's talk about these two teams tonight. Let's start with the University of Washington, the visitors. It's a rebuilding year for new head coach Eddie Smith after a number of players left in the transfer portal.
Yeah, Washington won 19 games last year, and then there's portal issues, but they nailed the coaching hire. Eddie Smith is fantastic. He's put together a fantastic staff. Hard to say what is in store for them this year, but love the direction of the program.
Yeah, we'll get a look at their lineup here tonight as they get ready to take on the Texas Longhorns. And the guy at the second spot in the lineup, A.J. Guerrero, is going to go down as one of the great power hitters in Washington history.
It's a right-handed hitter. It's a left fielder. It's a batter's bat, right? Like, he's not there to make SportsCenter plays in left field. He's there to just drive the baseball, and what a career A.J. Guerrero's had.
And you see the bullpen door open for the Texas Longhorns. Jared Spencer will make the start for them tonight. The transfer from Indiana State. There are many storylines surrounding the Longhorns, not the least of which is it's the first season of their new head coach, Jim Schlossnagle.
Yeah, and Jared Spencer, by the way, we don't have enough left-handed starting pitchers in college baseball with rock and roll band hair and high tops. But, yes, year one of the Jim Schlossnagle era at Texas is off to a great start. And there's no reason why we should be surprised by that. Jim Schlossnagle was fantastic at UNLV and then at TCU and then at Texas A&M, and you see number 22 right there. He's as good as there is in college baseball running a program. And Texas we thought was going to be very offensive, and the pitching was going to be a question mark. They've thrown the ball really well so far.
So two first-year head coaches, experienced one. Schlossnagle, as you see, coached Texas A&M to the 2024 Men's College World Series Finals. Eddie Smith built a really good program at Utah Valley and was one of the hot commodities in coaching.
Yeah, and Eddie Smith is, played for Paul Maneri, coached for Paul Maneri, coached for Brian O'Connor at Virginia. He's had great apprenticeships. And you're right, like they really went from not really sure where they were on the WAC to the top tier of the WAC. And so love the hire. Eddie Smith's from the state of Washington. He's a great fit for that program.
He's built a really good veteran staff as well, guys that really know how to teach baseball, and that's going to be important. We'll talk plenty this weekend about Washington and what the plan is, because while their young players aren't playing yet, they have a number of talented freshmen that they're hoping are going to contribute maybe as soon as the second half of this year.
Yeah, and for Washington, it's an academic school, obviously, so recruiting is going to be a multi-year plan. It's not a place where you can just load up on 25 guys in one class, but you can already start to see what the plan is and how it's going to materialize.
See our umpires there. Billy Van Raphorst giving the instructions. Our crew chief tonight, the veteran Pac-12 umpire. This is a Pac-12 crew with everyone still wearing the hats, even though there is no Pac-12 this year.
Collector's items, I guess.
Here's a look at Texas's defense, and we'll highlight Will Gasparito in center field. The sophomore has made some huge strides this season.
Yeah, huge strides offensively, and he's really unique. He's a 6'6" center fielder, 6'6", kind of a glider, and just has tremendous body control and feel for where the baseball is going to be. He's a unique lookout in center field, but he's an elite defender.
And the Longhorns take the field behind left-hander Jared Spencer as he goes through his sticky substance check on the mound. The transfer from Indiana State, who helped the Sycamores reach a super regional 2 years ago and win the Missouri Valley Conference regular season last year. He has been the Friday starter from the jump for Texas, and there are a lot of scouts that are here tonight to see Jared Spencer ahead of this year's draft.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a left-handed arm that's going to hold 95 to 97 miles an hour. I mean, it's an extreme velocity, hard breaking ball. He's really talented, and, the starting role, you were always wondering, now, can a reliever really become a starting pitcher, let alone one at Texas in the SEC? But so far, so good.
Well, when you have stuff like Jared Spencer's, it makes it a lot easier. Now, the question is, through 2 starts, his first one was scintillating. Last week, he was decent against Dartmouth. That's a team that probably hasn't seen a whole lot of Jared Spencer's in their Ivy League experience. They played Texas tough last weekend, but it was a very low offensive output for all 3 teams, in all 3 games, excuse me.
Yeah, and I think the slider's the key pitch, right? We know it's a big fastball, but if that's all the Washington hitters have to worry about, they probably will get to it. But that slider down and into a very right-handed lineup of Washington, that will be the key pitch, that slider down and in versus the right-handers. 8
right-handed hitters in the lineup for Washington tonight against the Texas left-hander Jared Spencer. We mentioned at the open runs earlier today, the Texas Tech Red Raiders got just their second win of the season as they rallied in the 9th inning to beat Illinois. Damian Bravo, last year's Big 12 batting champion, hit a solo home run to start the 9th inning to tie the game. And then Texas Tech rolled from there, scoring 5 more times in the inning and then hanging on in a little bit of a hairy 9th inning to win 10-6.
Yeah, I'm fairly convicted on Texas Tech that's a very talented group if they could just get themselves going. Now, as you're alluding to, Coach Farron, it was not clean. They still have some, they got to clean up the defense, but man, it is a talented roster.
We are ready for baseball on this beautiful night in Las Vegas. You're just outside of downtown as you see the wind. It's kind of shifted a little bit, blowing towards right center field tonight. It was blowing in or not really blowing at all this afternoon. And Sam DiCarlo, the junior infielder who takes over at shortstop this year, stands in against Jared Spencer. And we are ready for Game 2 of the 2025 Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. The first pitch of the ball game is a strike, and we're underway. DiCarlo off to a slow start offensively, but he and A.J. Guerrero are the veterans atop this lineup. The junior right-handed hitting infielder waits and takes a strike. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that's 93 in on a right-handed hitter. That's going to be no fun for the Washington offense if Jared Spencer can pitch glove side into those right-handers.
A hold. And now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Disappearing slider that time. DiCarlo down on strikes and the leadoff man gone to the Washington first.
Okay, well, that's an 88-mile-an-hour slider. backing up a 94-mile-an-hour fastball into right-handed hitters. That is a very good start for Jared Spencer.
Does that play? I think that tends to play.
That's going to work.
Here is A.J. Guerrero coming off a career-high 15 home runs last season. Tied for 5th all-time in Washington history in homers. First pitch to the right-handed hitter is a back foot slider that misses, 1-0.
I think if you're facing Jared Spencer, someone's got to wear that pitch. If he wants to pitch in with both fastball and breaking ball, some segment of your lineup's going to have to hold their ground.
Do you want it to be A.J. Guerrero, who's the most power bat, though?
I don't want it to be him.
Guerrero takes a fastball inside. It's 2-0. Excuse me. Guerrero missed the opening weekend of the season with a minor injury, but was back last week when Washington played 4 games against Stanford. It's been a slow start for the Huskies at 3-6, but again, this is a team that is very much rebuilding. To short, Jalen Flores bobbles and won't have a play. And he pats himself on the chest to say, my bad. It'll be an error on the normally slick fielding shortstop Flores.
Yeah, and the thing that Jalen Flores is going to be mad at himself for is that Guerrero's not a great runner. And so if you just slow down a little bit, that you can bobble that ball and still make the play. So, Jalen Flores, you're right, his talent is not in question.
Colton Bauer, the catcher, hits in the 3-hole, the transfer from Wazoo. Washington State University, a couple of transfers in this lineup for the Huskies from Washington State. First pitch misses upstairs to him, 1-0.
What hurts about that error, Coach Farron, is that Jared Spencer is already a guy that managing pitch count is tricky, let alone, awarding the other team a 4th out in the first inning.
Here's the 1-0. That one just missed. Ooh. Just maybe a little below the zone. And the count 2-0.
Maybe not.
It's pretty close.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a borderline pitch. It really is. It's right there. Good heater.
It's a pitch that if you're Texas, you want. If you're Washington, you think good call, swing and a miss. That slider was nasty.
Wow, that's 88. Goodness gracious.
I mean, everything from the delivery to the pitch types to the hair. Jared Spencer is almost a dead ringer for Josh Hader of the Astros.
That's right. I said rock and roll band hair. I really wanted to say metal.
Oh, it's definitely hair metal. Yeah. This is like late 80s, early 90s hair metal.
Yeah. And I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, he played. Man, I love Jared Spencer's work when he was playing bass in Cinderella. That guy was big.
That's right. If he's not wearing a Slaughter concert shirt at Jersey, I'm very disappointed. If you know, you know.
Here's the 2-1. There's a strike. Yeah, they count 2-2.
Now, what is that? That's 85. Do you think that's a slider? Or you think that's the changeup?
I think that was the changeup.
And me too.
But he kind of tugged on it. I'm not sure that putting it on the inside part of the plate is where he wanted it, but that's the newer pitch for Spencer. The delivery. Tap foul. Just did get a piece of that slider.
I know I'm beating a dead horse, Coach Hearn, but that's an 88-mile-an-hour left-handed slider. That is, you and I might not see another left-handed slider at 88 miles an hour the rest of this season.
No, Major League Baseball, you'll see that, but not from anybody else at the collegiate level. That's a really aggressive pitch upstairs, and Bauer has worked the count full. Just underway in the top of the first, no score. Spencer gets the sign from the catcher Galvin. And the 3-2 misses, and Washington has 2 aboard thanks to the error and a walk, and are threatening with the veteran third baseman Trevor Cole coming up. Cole off to a tremendous start this season. 324, a couple of home runs. 11 for 34 for the transfer from Florida Gulf Coast University. Right-handed hitter with power. First pitch. Fouled away.
I don't know.
Kitchen.
Don't always love the portal, Coach Farron, but you do get fun stuff like this where it makes the world smaller. Florida Gulf Coast, where Trevor Cole spent 3 years. That's Fort Myers, Florida. Seattle to Fort Myers. Not sure that's a direct flight, but two fun places.
It's definitely, you can't make the green in two from Seattle to Fort Myers. I think that's the case. Upstairs, the count 1-1. That changeup floated high.
You're right. That changeup's very much a show-me pitch so far tonight. The fastball and the slider are what have your full attention as a hitter.
Here comes the 1-1. Foul back.
Man, I mean, that fastball is just beating the bat out of his hands.
It has some arm side movement to it, too, so it's starting in on those righties. Again, just like Josh Hader's, and coming back a little bit to that corner. But he, so far, has had exceptional command of that side of the plate.
And the breaking ball down right here that's going to be an out.
1-2. And a hit on the ground to second, breaking the wrong way at second, and starting the 4-6-3 double play is Mendoza. What a play from Ethan Mendoza to end the first. Texas gets out of the jam. We go to the bottom of the first. UW, nothing. Texas coming to bat. The Las Vegas College Baseball Classic is brought to you by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow us at peak.events on social media to keep up with the best in early season college baseball. Before we start the bottom of the first inning, let's get a look at the double play that ended that frame, Runs.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Flores going in reverse order has a cannon, so obviously he can make up a lot of ground with his arm strength and love the opportunity to do that. But Ethan Mendoza, that ball is really sharply hit. He got caught leaning towards second base and had to shift his weight back towards first base. That's a heck of a play. That could have gone sideways for Ethan Mendoza.
There's a look at the Texas lineup, and Mendoza will lead off. The transfer from Arizona State, Max Ballou, a likely first-rounder this year. There are so many players to talk about in this, but the word early on for freshman Adrian Gonzalez in the cleanup spot is, how do you have a freshman hitting cleanup in the SEC? Well, he's going to give you a good example of how you do it.
Yeah, A-Rod, as they're calling him, which is fun. It's unusual command of the strike zone for a freshman. He's a switch hitter, so that helps. All the breaking balls are coming in at him, but early in the year it was more walks and strikeouts. It's just he's not a freewheeling freshman who's just running into stuff. There's a real advanced approach here.
And you get a look at Max Banks, the 6'4" senior out of San Francisco, California. The transfer from Division III Chapman College in Orange County, who has pitched very well on Fridays for Washington. The one thing that the Huskies have this year, Runes, is they have a legitimate Friday starter.
Yeah, I mean, Banks has been great. Chapman's a really good program, so far so good here.
Ethan Mendoza to lead things off. The ASU transfer takes a strike, and we're underway in the bottom of the first. Mendoza had a nice first season in a Sun Devil uniform last year before entering the portal. He's off to a very good start, hitting .421. He's behind on the count, 0-2.
Yeah, Mendoza's walk percentage last year, if there was a critique of him as a freshman, it was too free swinging. Only a 5.9% walk percentage. Average is double that. But this year, 26.9%. So has really made a nice job being selectively aggressive.
Started 6 of the 7 games for the Longhorns. He takes inside in the count 1-2. Max Banks is going to throw strikes. We know that. So the Texas hitters are going to have to be on their toes. Mendoza takes time, and Billy Van Raphorst is telling Max Banks, hey, you need to make sure that the hitter is alert before you start your windup. Banks trying to speed up these Texas hitters. Not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Want to do something.
Banks has it, and the 1-2. Swing at a tapper foul to plate. Mendoza just does stay alive. That was a pretty good breaking ball.
Yeah, he's unique. Banks is it's an odd look. I can see where first time through the order, it's tough. And it's not light. You know, it's fastball. Every fastball has been in the low 90s.
Here's the 1-2. Inside, it's 2-2 now to Banks. Or, excuse me, to Mendoza.
And he's thrown in on purpose. That's not just missing in. He's trying to run his fastball in there.
I'll tell you more about Banks' story as we go along, but he was a very good pitcher at Chapman College. 3 years in a row, Washington's had a key D3 contributor on the mound. Pitch hit through the left side, past the diving DiCarlo. And goes to the leadoff man aboard in the first for Texas. Take a look at the defense for Washington. You see it there. DiCarlo really the key defender.
Yeah, and you know, DiCarlo's played second. He's played short. He's a junior now. He's played a lot. They really need him to lock it down at shortstop.
Holden Bauer behind the plate, too, is the quiet leader of this Seattle area team, the University of Washington. Max Ballou bats. He is off to an unbelievable start. Hitting in the 2-hole, and he lines one on one hop. DiCarlo has it and will get the out at second for one. The relay not in time from Wilson. Well, that nearly took DiCarlo into center field with him, but a nice play by the shortstop to record the first out.
That ball is hammered. First pitch, fastball, and almost knocked DiCarlo into center field.
So Ballou reaches. And here is Will Gasparino. The batting average is low at 241, but 4 extra base hits already for him. A former perfect game All-American and son of Dodgers Vice President of Scouting Billy Gasparino. First pitch is a strike. 0-1. Will Gasparino is listed at 6'6". And I'm assuming that he was crouching in a door frame when they measured him because he might really be 6'9".
It's a large human.
Here's the 0-1 instead of throw to first.
He's another one. Last year, you know, and this can happen to a freshman that plays every single day, and he posted every day, 59 games, but a 32.9% K rate, 20% is average. He's got that cut by 3x. You know, he's down to 9.7.
Pitch on the ground to third. This could be 2. Cole is second for 1. On to first, the one-hop throw. In time to get him around the horn for a double play, and the inning is over. Leadoff single, and it goes to waste. We played one. Washington and Texas are scoreless.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day, and I'm feeling
The Las Vegas College Baseball Classic is brought to you by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball. Covering every game from coast to coast, D1 Baseball is the resource no college baseball fan can be without. A lot of burnt orange here tonight as the Texas Longhorns take on the Washington Huskies. The score as we start the top of the second.
Something about Texas baseball, Coach Farron. It's kind of like very much feels like the Yankees of college baseball. Lead the country in Omaha appearances.
Well, you know what's significant about both of those teams is that they've relaxed their facial hair rules this year. So the Yankees taking the lead from Jim Schlossnagle and the Texas Longhorns.
Are you the person that finally got Hal Steinbrenner to loosen up on that? Was that your doing?
Yeah, it was my well-coiffed, largely white beard that really set it over the top. No, I actually think it was Devin Williams, their new closer.
Yeah, got to have a happy
He and
closer.
Aaron Judge got it done. That it's not like Mickey Mantle had that policy. That's been in effect since George Steinbrenner brought the team in '76. So.
Oh, Mickey Mantle could have had a beard, right?
Yeah.
Good point.
Kaysen Taggart, leads off for Washington. The other Wazoo transfer. And the left-hander puts the ball in play against Spencer. Mendoza throws him out. The leadoff man done on one pitch in the second. Kaysen Taggart deserves a medal for that. Putting it in play against Jared Spencer.
Yeah. We're seeing some early swings, and you can't blame the hitters when you've got two really good aces going. Hitting with two strikes does not feel like an awesome idea.
Malachi Knight, the transfer from UCLA bats. He missed the Stanford series with a hamstring issue, but back in the lineup. First pitch, takes inside, 1-0. Knight never really established himself as an impact regular at UCLA, but he was a very famous recruit. The Gatorade Player of the Year his senior year in high school in Washington, and now he's back home playing for the Huskies. I thought this was a real nice addition for them. There are a lot of things he does well. He's off to a good start as he's ahead 2-0 in the count. Knight can run. He can really play center field. For whatever reason, it never quite clicked for him at UCLA. 2-0 the count. He swings and pops it up. Calling for it is the second baseman Mendoza to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down.
That's a nice play. You're way out into the outfield there as the second sacker. That's not a layup.
There's a lot of ground to cover in this outfield, and Will Gasparino playing a lot deeper than the center fielders were this afternoon. 2 outs for Jackson Hotchkiss, the freshman, who is going to get a lot of run in this lineup. Elite power. Swing and a miss. 0-1. They're going to ride the struggles runes of this freshman because he is immensely talented.
Yeah, I mean, you could see this. He's going to play right field tonight, or is playing right field tonight. He could play center field. It is a big physical athlete.
Bounces it to third to the freshman Rodriguez, who throws him out. And a 1-2-3 second for Jared Spencer. Through 1.5, Washington and Texas are scoreless at the 2025 Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. The Las Vegas College Baseball Classic is a proud supporter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Scan the QR code on your screen and check out our action to help us add tomorrows to those living with the disease. beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. The Strip lit tonight. I mean that both literally and metaphorically.
Hashtag lit.
Coach Rooney will be attending the late show of Penn and Teller later this evening. I know you're very excited about that.
Oh, that would be something.
You ever seen them?
No.
Great show.
I like
Worth
it. They're magicians, right?
Yes.
Even better.
They're really good. They make your money disappear. Max Banks worked around a leadoff single in the first, and his first pitch to Adrian Rodriguez, the switch-hitting third baseman, is a strike. It's 0-1. Rodriguez off to a great start with 7 extra base hits already in his college career. A switch hitter. Swings and pops it foul, and that one will reach just the second row. It's nothing to do. Everyone around the Texas program is effusive in their praise of Adrian Rodriguez, and not just his ability, but how quickly he processes the game.
Yeah, these programs, the program of Texas's ilk, they will attract star caliber players, but you're always wondering who's it going to be. They all have hype in recruiting, but who's the real star? And Adrian Rodriguez sure fits that bill.
He takes 1-2. He was not a particularly highly rated prospect coming out of Flower Mound, Texas, in the Dallas area. In fact, he was kind of buried there, but the switch hitter has been really good. As he takes strike 3, and the leadoff man gone in the Texas second.
How about that? Max Banks, you talk about protecting your fastball. He gives the hitters a lot to think about. Kind of a mid-70s slow breaking ball. It's slider, cutter, curveball, and changeup. And the fastball, if you're not on time, it's 92 to 93.
One out for Kimball Schuessler, the first baseman. Schuessler hit leadoff to open the year, despite the fact that he's not a burner, but he squares the bunt and takes a strike. Of course he does that as soon as we talk about his lack of speed, but the idea was Schuessler's one of their best hitters, put him in the leadoff spot, get him the most plate appearances. And I think it speaks to how deep Texas's lineup, or at least the top half of it is, that they quickly rearrange things and put him in the 5 spot. Their first 5 hitters are no joke. That one fouled back.
Yeah, and Schuessler is also a guy that's very experienced. And, you know, I think as your Jim Schlossingle coming here trying to build your program, you are looking for some veterans that you can lean into that can help you spread the word.
Schuessler started his career at Texas A&M before transferring to Texas. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Boy, he tied up there. That was right on right changeup, and it was nasty. 2 outs.
Max Banks, see you working. Yeah, what is this?
That is a changeup.
Yeah, it is.
It is a really good one.
It's like 87 right there.
Yeah. Wow. Jalen Flores bats, the all Big 12 shortstop from a year ago. Off to a slow start offensively. Everything about Flores' mannerisms reminds me of somebody. Flores pitches upstairs.
Somebody like a big league shortstop?
A specific one who may be on the Texas coaching staff. No. That bat slap right there is pure Troy Tulowitzki.
Oh, nice.
Swing and a miss. A breaking ball. It's 1-1. Flores, despite the error in the first, has been very good defensively this season.
It's interesting. Last year when I saw Flores, because he really broke out as a sophomore, I felt like the offense was ahead of the defense. So far this year, it's flipped.
Foul back. Fights off that high heater. It's 1-2.
Beware of small sample sizes, of course, but we know he's going to hit.
You know, as a freshman, he hit just under 200. I think it was $1.75. And so last year's season was a real breakthrough for him. But he has made some highlight reel plays defensively already this season. The 1-2. Upstairs. It's 2-2.
How about 22 doubles and 18 home runs last year? That is doing some damage.
Dish Falk is a little bit better hitter's ballpark than it was at the peak of Augie ball, right?
Mm-hmm. But still not like, it's not a bandbox by any stretch.
Count is full. He's looking a little frustrated with himself there.
Doesn't like 3-ball counts. Standards coach, Farron.
Here comes the 3-2. On its way. Fouled away. Flores will dig back in. And here comes the 3-2 again.
Ooh.
Hit in the air, deep, left center field, way back, and gone. 1-0 Texas.
Wow. I'll tell you, Coach Hearn, I don't know that he fully got it. That's just how strong Jalen Flores is. That's like away. He pulls it. Man, is he strong.
418 feet on the home run from Flores, his first of the year. 1-0 Texas. It looked like a slider maybe that just stayed up. Or a cutter, and it was hammered. And here's Cole Chamberlain. He takes a strike. Chamberlain serving as the DH, the freshman. 0 for 3 with 4 walks and 1 strikeout. Misses low. It's 1-1.
Boy, that was something. That's just one of those things that there's 1 or 2 people in this game that can do that, and one of them just did it.
He got his arms extended and drove it out of the ballpark to give Texas the lead. And misses high, and we count 2-1 now to Chamberlain. Chamberlain, the freshman, making just his 3rd collegiate start. Takes a strike. Banks isn't afraid to work inside, is he? Count 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, Max Banks, it's a real clinic in just all the nuances of pitching. Fastball in, using multiple breaking balls to protect your fastball. Really, he's a joy to watch.
2-2. Called strike 3. Locked him up with the breaker, and the inning is over. But Texas takes the lead thanks to their shortstop.
Jalen Flores, a preseason All-American. A little bit of a slow start, but maybe not for long. Las Vegas ballpark not holding him tonight.
1-0 Texas into 2.
Dip into your Raising Cane's whenever the craving strikes for something hot and fresh and oh so delicious. Dip in for perfectly salted, crispy, crinkle-cut fries. Dip in for garlicky, buttered Texas toast. And of course, dip in for tender, hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers made just for you. At Raising Cane's, our secret cane sauce makes every dip a delight. Order on the app or online so you can dip out just as fast as you dipped in.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Want to stay up to date with the Las Vegas College Baseball Classic all year round? Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, now X, at Las Vegas CBC. on all our social media platforms. There's the youngsters putting on clothes that are way too big for themselves. It's like at-home dress-up for them tonight.
I like that the back of the jersey say Flight Crew. I see what they did there.
Oh, right, because it's the Aviators?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a whole Howard Hughes theme here at Las Vegas Ballpark.
Shape of the press box, the whole deal.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the fact that you can come in on Spruce Goose Boulevard. That's
nice.
Chris Howard Hughes' plane, so that's why they also have a goose as a mascot. Some youngsters playing on the berm tonight, and somebody, I thought he was bringing them chicken fingers. Those are for him.
Yes.
Or that guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting the beverage.
I didn't think he was bringing the beverage to the kids. I want to make that clear. I thought the chicken fingers were for him.
Not that kind of party.
Cooper Witten leads off for Washington. Texas leading 1-0. The designated hitter. 4 for 24 to open the year. First pitch is a strike, 0-1.
I'm really interested to see. We've heard that Jared Spencer really holds the velocity, which is unique given that he cut his teeth at Indiana State as a reliever. So far, so good.
Fouled away. Yeah, Bruins mentioned Spencer at Indiana State. He was first team All-Missouri Valley Conference last year. He started as their relief ace and then moved into the rotation late in the season. He was pitching there as the Sycamores made it to regionals again last year. That one floated foul first base side, and a long run and a great attempt there by Schussler. It's still 0-2.
The interesting year for me with Jared Spencer, 2022 when he was a freshman, he was fine. 2023 was the breakout year, and that was the year Indiana State, to your point, really should have hosted a super regional, but they went to TCU because the school had already committed to host the Special Olympics that weekend. But he didn't finish the year completely healthy, but it was 51 strikeouts in 37 innings and a 203 batting average against. He was dominant.
Suffered an injury during that super regional with TCU, but yeah, those numbers were really incredible. You know, he has a twin brother, too. Named Jacob, who pitches at Indiana State. And the way you can tell them apart is that one's hit well to right, going back on a Baloo, still going back, and it's out of here. Cooper Witten has tied the game with an opposite field home run. 1-1.
How about 0-2 count? Fastball up and away. I wonder what Jared Spencer really wanted to do with that pitch, but well done, Cooper Witten.
Opposite field blast for Witten. Ties things up in the third, and here's Blake Wilson. First pitch to the number 9 hitter, swung on and missed. 0-1.
What was that pitch, Coach Fran? Were we trying to go fastball up there, maybe?
I have it as fastball at 95.
Goodness.
Swing and a miss. Count 0-2. For Witten, his 6th career home run. He had 5 last year in limited duty. And Wilson down on strikes, and that's the first out.
You can see Spencer strutting around a little bit. He's a little bit frustrated with that home run. You get it, 0-2 pitch, give up a home run, but that slider is filthy.
Just wanted to finish up the story on Spencer. So his brother Jacob, they are identical, except that Jacob throws right-handed.
Identical, except for one major tragic detail.
Here's DeCarlo, swings and misses the first pitch. 0-1. It's like the Rogers brothers, Taylor and Tyler, in the big leagues. Tyler's a submarining right-hander, and Taylor's a over-the-top lefty, and Together, they're identical twins.
Amazing. How's that even possible?
I guess, does that not make them identical then? Are they nearly identical twins? We need that beside fraternal twins, right?
I mean, identical does kind of leave no room for nuance.
I guess it is like they're looking in a mirror at each other then, right? So,
wow. I mean, Jared Spencer gets mad about the home run, and now that 88-mile-an-hour slider is 89 miles an hour. So good luck with that, right-handed hitters.
1-2 the count to DeCarlo. Down on strikes for the second time today. Back-to-back punch-outs for Spencer, 2 outs.
Coach Farron, I think we're done with the 2-strike fastballs. I think it's going to be this absolutely vicious slider.
Well, I took something off that. That was 88.5.
Nice of him.
Guerrero reached on an error in the first. 1-1 the score, top 3. Takes low. Guerrero waits, and the 1-0. Misses 2, 2-0 to Guerrero. We got himself to a good count in the first at bat. That was the changeup that time from Spencer. I think he's probably going to get a 2-0 heater here. There's a strike.
Boy, that is crisp.
He really is commanding that inside part of the plate to righties very well.
And it just, if you're a right-hand hitter, it leaves you with no choice but to cheat to get your bat head out, which leaves you absolutely naked for the slider.
There's a strike, 2-2. That was the changeup again. It's just almost like a wrinkle, that changeup. There's not really a whole lot of depth or fade to it, but just enough to keep hitters off the fastball. The pitch, swing and a miss. That was, oh, they said he held up. Oh, you're kidding.
Wow.
I mean, that was a full-blown sword. That was, A.J. Guerrero spun himself into the ground like a top. And Darren Hyman said, no swing. Look at this. Yeah, I mean.
That's interesting.
I mean maybe he felt like the body turned and the bat didn't.
Yeah.
Darren Hyman a little more credit than that. Pitch in the dirt, ball 4. That was a big call because Guerrero walks.
In fairness to Darren Hyman, that's a tough call because you just don't see hitters do that very often.
I mean, he was the only person on the field that thought it wasn't a swing. And you know what? I'll correct myself. Going to the replay, I think he's right. Here's the look at it again.
It really is. It's more body than the actual bat.
But watch the bat. I mean, I'm not sure the rhythmic gymnastics can pull off a move like Guerrero just did.
It's like Frank the Tank in old school right there.
Lou's hoping that Guerrero can keep his composure.
That's how you debate.
Bauer walked in the first. Washington with the go-ahead run aboard in the third. And he bunts in the air, caught by Spencer, inning over. Washington ties the game, though, thanks to their number 8 hitter running into one.
Cooper Witten, I see you hit that 0-2 heater and run it into right field. Famous pitcher means chance to make a name for yourself. I see you, Cooper Witten. We got a tie ball game.
Beautiful. Texas and Washington tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the third on this beautiful night in Las Vegas. The sun has gone down. It's starting to cool off a little bit here in the desert. But the baseball action is hot, and let's take a look at some of the action that's going on at the Frisco College Baseball Classic as Nebraska has opened things up, leading Sam Houston 8-3 now. And they're heading to the bottom of the ninth there.
How about them Huskers? There's some program momentum in Lincoln, Nebraska now.
Wasn't all good news for Nebraska tonight. Their All-American right-hander Mason McConaughey left the game in the fourth inning with a trainer. We'll have to keep an eye on that with Nebraska. He's a really important arm for that Husker team that has postseason aspirations. Tommy Farmer, the fourth, will lead things off. 8-9-1 for Texas against Max Banks. Check swing roller to second. And Wilson throws him out. One pitch, one out for Banks here in the third. Who is Max Banks, you may ask, Mike Rooney?
Who is he?
Max Banks, transfer from Chapman College. First team All-SIAC performer back in 2023. And then last year, just 6 games because of a back strain. Had put up really good numbers. He dreams of playing professional baseball, and so when he jumped in the portal and with the success the Washingtons had with Division III starters, easy choice. So he thought big Division I school would be his best chance to get to pro ball. I'll tell you what, through 2 innings, and again, it's just 2 innings, but Max Banks has been really good this season for Washington. He has the look of a pro. Like this is a guy that's going to get drafted somewhere in that 4 to 8 round range, you would think.
A lot to like here.
He is very, he reminds me of a guy that went in the top 5 rounds last year a little bit. It's maybe a little deeper arsenal, but that same kind of command and pitch mix and the way his slider and changeup work, a little bit similar to Gage Zeal of Miami.
Oh, interesting.
He's a big Gage Zeal guy.
Like it. Yeah, Gage Zeal. You talk about an innings eater.
Oh,
awesome.
And a fierce competitor. Ryan Galvin hits. Preseason All-SEC catcher. 2-1 the count. There's a strike. And I'll tell you what, we were talking about Spencer commanding the fastball into righties. What Banks has is that he can use that fastball on both sides of the plate.
Yep. Yeah, Max Banks does not let you get comfortable. He does not allow for predictability. You're going to have to cover his whole arsenal.
Here's the 2-2. Checks and takes low on a curveball and the count full.
That's almost unfair. 92 in, humpback 75-mile-an-hour curveball next pitch.
Galvin really identified it early, though. The 3-2. Fouled away. But hit a light pole and comes back to the stands. 1-1 the score, last of the third. The 3-2. To short. And DeCarlo throws out the catcher, 2 up, 2 down. The top of the order with Ethan Mendoza in the 1-1 game. Mendoza singled to lead off the first. He was erased on a double play. Ethan Mendoza has been on fire. He has now reached safely in 9 of his last 10 plate appearances. By my count, Runes, that's a 900 OPS. Yeah. 900 on base percentage, I should say.
That'll play.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Even I can do the math on that one. Mendoza takes low, 1-0. Mendoza, the transfer from ASU who dreamed of playing for Texas. There was a story today that their outstanding SID, Josh White, shared with us. As he takes a strike, that somebody tweeted at Mendoza's mom that Augie Garrido, the late legendary Texas coach, would have loved Mendoza. And she said that Ethan, at age 5, snuck into a 7 and older camp and was everybody's favorite player, including Garrido, in it. They were using his swing as a swing demo. And now he is playing for the Longhorns. Foul back. Things are just a little different in Austin with that.
That's right. That's a cool story. Hey, you know what's funny? You and I saw a lot of him, Mendoza, last year because we live in Arizona, and he just, like a lot of sophomores do, he just looks more confident, more slowed down, and more physical as a sophomore. I mean, just looks significantly stronger.
The 1-2. Called strike 3. Burr painting on the corner at a 1-2-3 third inning for the Washington right-hander. We head to the fourth, tied at 1. Breeze starting to pick up a little bit here at the ballpark tonight. Got a good one so far, each team with a solo home run. Got a pretty good pitcher's duel, as you would hope, on a Friday night between two of the top starters in the country. So far, Max Banks and Jared Spencer have lived up to the billing, Burns.
Yeah, this has been, there's just significant star power in this game, and it's been fun because the stars have been great. Banks has been awesome. Spencer, even, you hear a lot about Jared Spencer, even better in person, and for Jalen Flores to get into one. Everybody's showing us a little something. Even Max Bellew just doesn't have anything to show for it, but that ball was scalded in his first at bat.
Both starters have been very efficient. 41 pitches for Spencer through 3 innings, 40 for Banks. Both have been in control of counts. It has been very good so far. And now they go through the heart of the order the second time. It's Trevor Cole will lead things off for Washington. The third baseman. You may remember, if you're a big college baseball fan, Trevor Cole had the week of his life 2 years ago in the A-Sun tournament. He hit 4 home runs for Florida Gulf Coast in that tourney as they made it to the finals. Kind of put him on the map, swinging a foul at the plate. It's 0-2. He's a part-time player for the most part there, and
all 4 of his home runs that year were in that A-Sun tournament.
In the span of like 4 days. Yeah.
How awesome is that?
It was incredible. His numbers are great that year, but most of it is because he just went off in the A-Sun. Here's the 0-2. Inside a ball, 1-2.
What do you do if you have a teammate that hot, Coach Farron? Like, don't even look at him, don't talk to him?
No, you want to try and
put his
buddy up
jersey
next
on?
to him, yeah. Anything you can get off of him.
Steal his batting gloves.
Well, let's not go so far.
Don't need to commit crimes.
1-2. Swing and a miss. I mean, you don't want to take his luck away. You just want to share it. Strikeout number 4 for Spencer. Leadoff man gone in the 4th for Washington.
There is no chance for the right-handers to hit that slider. You either take it or it is going to be a whiff.
Kaysen Taggart hits. Taggart grounded to second, swinging at the first pitch. He is the lone left-handed hitter in the lineup tonight for UW. He saw a fastball and he swung at it, which is probably a good idea against the lefty because that's going to come a lot, the slider for strike. This has been really impressive from Spencer so far.
100%. Yeah, it's the fastball is just so firm, and then the slider is a no-chance pitch.
I mean, both of these starters are doing it in very different ways. Spencer is pure power, but he's got good control tonight. That one misses. And very good command of his fastball to righties. Whereas Banks is mixing it up, using both sides of the plate. This is a really good pitcher's matchup. The 1-1 in the dirt. Well, I guess that's the way to hit Spencer if you're a lefty, right? Is just do not swing at the slider. Make him throw 3 in the zone.
That's it. I mean, you got to take it.
2-1 the count.
Now you got to see it to take it, and that's a whole different conversation.
Ooh, there's a fastball strike. Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Came back to the corner, had the hole outer third. It's 2-2.
See, that's the whole problem, right? That was 96 painted. If you're not fully committed to that pitch, good luck.
2-2. Taggart in the air to left. Going back on it and making the catch is Farmer. 2 up, 2 down in the Washington fourth. Here's Malachi Knight. I almost feel like that's your chance, Runes, is if you're a lefty against him, you just got to, I mean, that was a slider, I know, but you've got to be sitting on that fastball outer third. He hasn't shown an ability really to come into the lefty yet with a fastball, but again, it's 5 pitches that he's thrown to a left-handed hitter tonight.
No, you're right. Everything's glove side, so you just got to look out over the plate and hope you get something up like Mr. Witten did.
Malachi Knight squares the bunt, takes low.
I like that. I mean, it's a 1-1 game here in the fourth. I like the idea of bunting and give Spencer something else to think about.
Wow. Disappearing slide. That just everything is nasty.
Yeah, I mean that's fastball in where you're so overcommitted to it, you just have no chance. He makes you make a swing decision way earlier than you want to. Inside.
Tugged on a changeup that time. It's 2-1. That might be your other chance to get him, right? If he makes a mistake with the changeup, you better be ready for it.
But again, it's like thoughts and prayers for your thumbs,
right?
Hitters, like everything is on your belt buckle.
I mean, the best left-handers in the big leagues control that part of the strike zone to righties. 2-2.
Yep. I think that's what's fun in college baseball is even if you're a left-hander that's in the upper 80s, if you can throw fastball into right-handers, you got a chance because college hitters have to cheat to get to that pitch, most of them, and it opens up everything else.
I think you can live in the upper 80s. I mean, you're not going to be an all-star probably as a lefty, but you can have success in the big leagues doing it too if you can control that part of the plate. You have to have something else that works off of it. That one misses, and the count is now full tonight. But I think it's, if you've got a changeup or you're able to go fastball slider in, even if you're in the 80s, or fastball curveball, something like that, you're going to be able to have success against righties because it's just, to your point earlier, you speed guys up. Chopped to third, Rodriguez can't make the play, and Knight reaches. He'll take a turn at first and hang on, as Flores had to hustle after the ball. See how they score. It wasn't an easy play for Rodriguez and Knight, even with the bad hamstring, runs well.
Yeah, I think Adrian Rodriguez is going to feel like he should have made that play. He had the right idea to come get it. That's the only chance you had, and it was weird that the ball just got under the glove there.
They gave him an error. He was talking to the great Texas broadcaster Keith Moreland, former big leaguer and former football star at Texas, and he was saying one of the things that impressed him most about Rodriguez is how good he is at letting go of mistakes as a freshman. I thought that was a great compliment.
Yeah, that is. How many juniors are good at letting go of mistakes?
How many 50-years are,
You're not sitting next to one of them.
Neither are you.
That's right.
Jackson Hotch gets bounced to third his first trip. He gets tied up there. That's a strike. 0-2 to the freshman.
Yeah, I think Jackson Hotchkiss is going to see nothing but that slider at his back foot the rest of this at bat until he proves he can take it.
0-2 the count. Spencer set. The pitch. Up and in.
Off topic, Coach Farron, I'm digging the gold helmets for Washington.
Oh, I'll tell you what's even better than the gold helmets. The matte burnt orange.
Yes, those are.
Catcher helmet from Galvin. That's gorgeous.
Fantastic.
Swing and a miss. Hotchkiss down on strike. Strikeout number 5 for Jared Spencer. Through 3.5, we're tied at 1. And it's time for trivia. A staple of our D1 baseball broadcasts of these early season peak events tournaments.
College baseball for 800, please.
The answer there, actually, it's a question. In what year did the University of Washington baseball start their program? 1901, 1915, 1923, or 1929? Mike Rooney will make his selection. You at home select yours as well.
Wow.
This has got to be pretty. I know what I would guess.
I'm going to guess C as in Charlie, 1923.
23?
Because I like that they have 23 and 29 near each other. It's like they're trying to get you off the scent. 1929, tough year. I don't think we were starting anything that year.
Well, was it spring of 29 that the market crashed? I mean, come on.
Was there fall baseball back then?
The answer will come up in just a little bit.
Either way, the Washington baseball program's been around a while.
Get a look at Las Vegas' strip. It looks like a mirage in the distance, but it's real.
It's really the mirage.
That actually wasn't the mirage. I think that was the area. I don't know. I've been wrong all day on my Vegas landmark, so take it with a grain of salt, but I think that's what it was. Furiously in the truck, people are looking up the layout to make sure I'm wrong. Heart of the order for Texas here in the fourth. 1-1 the score. Max Ballou will lead things off for Texas. First pitch, swing and a miss. Ballou, 0-1. Grounded out his first trip. Ballou with big power. Foul back. The count 0-2.
Max Ballou's been fun. I have not had a ton of opportunities to see him up close and personal. Obviously, he's another one that was a breakout star last year as a sophomore, Big 12 Player of the Year. And there's a little bit of a big league feel to Ballou already. Like, it's just quality at bat. He's strong as an ox.
Upstairs. 1-2. He is very likely a first-round pick this year. There are a lot of premium corner bats in this draft in the college class, and Ballou's start has kind of cemented that so far. He grounds to second here, and the leadoff man gone in the Texas fourth. And as much as we've been oohing and eyeing over Jared Spencer, Max Banks continues to knife through this really talented Texas lineup. He has looked terrific so far.
I'm trying to think of what what I would tell a hitter to do against Max Banks, and I think what you'd have to do is cut the plate in half and just cheat to one side, because his ability to mix location and speed is really tremendous.
Yeah, if you guess around with him, I think the odds are you're going to be wrong, right? We're playing the odds here in Vegas, so.
Yeah, I think chasing him, trying to guess with him is a fool's errand. I think you've got to just be fully convicted to middle in or middle away.
Gives the 1-0 to Will Gasparino, and he pops it foul. First base side, Taggart, we'll see it drift over the dugout, 1-1. So would you tell guys to be looking to attack early in the count against him?
I think I would. You have to be ready to hit first pitch of the at-bat, but I think you can't just be in swing mode. I think you have to, whatever your plan is, you're going to.
If you're too aggressive, he'll exploit that.
Yes, yes, he will expand.
Liner foul. The count now 1-2 to Gasparino, so he's got him set up here.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, his most effective pitch has been the changeup to righties.
Right on right, yeah.
And that was the changeup again. And maybe that is intentional that he's coming inside with it. I mean, almost treating it like a two-seamer.
Yeah, I mean, he's really committed to the inner half.
The 1-2.
Wow.
Inside. Rushed him in with the heater that time.
I mean, very few college pitchers have the courage to pitch in over and over and over again. Because, pitching in, you miss too far in, you hit the guy, you miss on the other side, and you just threw middle in that gets hit for big damage. It takes courage to throw that pitch.
In the air to left, Guerrero calling for it. Squeezing for out number 2.
And that pitch is the example right there, Coach Farron. If that's just a slider away, I think if you're not committed to pitching in like Banks is, someone like Gasparino could jump all over that slider and do big damage.
Yeah, it didn't have a ton of movement on it. It was in the middle of the plate a little bit. It was down, but I think it's a good point. It's a clinic in pitching right now.
Yep.
I mean, these are two different phylums of pitchers Adrian Rodriguez stands in. You've got the power guy, and you've got this. It's not fair to call Banks a finesse pitcher, I don't think. I mean, he doesn't throw 94 consistently, which is what a big leaguer averages these days, but it's just really good. Went around. I just think really good slider that time too.
With Banks, it's like I don't see a plus pitch, but I see he just maximizes the efficiency of his stuff. Like everything that's in the tank, he's getting it out of there.
I think the changeup might be a plus.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's pretty good, but the command is plus. And when we say that, we're talking about the scouting scale, and so like. An average big leaguer usually commands a fastball to one side of the plate. The fact that he's able to do it to both sides and work in is just, that's something that should be getting put in the reports from the scouts behind home plate tonight. 2-1. 2-2.
Now that was interesting. 2-1. He's got Rodriguez thinking because he just went fastball and Rodriguez took it. So that's where, you use it in your dome a little bit.
There's a little wrinkle on it.
Maybe cutter-ish?
Yeah. I think it may have come back to the corner a touch upstairs. That one at almost 94 was probably his hardest fastball of the night, but he also was one of the worst misses he's had with his fastball. He hasn't missed many.
Nope.
No walks, 4 strikeouts so far. Just 2 hits allowed, including a solo homer to Jalen Flores. The pitch, swing and a miss. A curveball that time. And hello, Max Banks, we see you. 4 innings of 1-run balls. We head to the 5th, tied at 1. And it is time to find out if Mike Rooney is right. For our trivia question tonight, in what year did the University of Washington begin their baseball program?
Come on, C. Come on, Charlie.
C's may get degrees, Runes, but you should have been an A student.
1901. Wow, who knew?
University of Washington went 4-6 under Fred Schlock. You remember Fred Schlock, don't you?
Come on, Coach Schlock.
They didn't compete in 1902 and then returned for the 03 season.
When you say didn't compete in 1902, like just forgot to put a schedule together?
They just laid down.
They got busy?
This team won't even compete. Sounds like frustrated coach.
Coach Schlock was so mad about the 4-6 season that he canceled the 02 season.
I have learned a lot here thanks to Wikipedia. In 1923, the first great Washington coach was hired, Tubby Graves.
Nice.
No relation to our friend Danny.
Danny Graves, hockey parent.
They won 7 Pacific Coast Conference North Division titles in his first 10 seasons.
Wow.
And then joined the Pac-12 in 1959.
Then in the 1990s, Ken Knutson had it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
The great snake, Ken Knutson. One of the great nicknames for a coach, and those were good teams.
They have, since 1977, they've had just 5 coaches. Bob McDonald was there before Ken Knutson. Knutson was there for 17 years. Lindsey Meggs ran the program for 13 years, including an Omaha trip.
2018, yeah.
And then Jason Kelly for 2 years before he joined the staff at Texas A&M this winter, once the Texas A&M staff, largely, minus Mike Early, went to University of Texas.
Lindsey Meggs now the first base coach at Hawaii. That's a good
staff there.
Yeah.
Whitten, who homered his last trip, just tried to bunt on Jared Spencer. That's West Coast baseball for you.
This is.
Somewhere Wally Kincaid is smiling.
That's right. Reed Johnson.
Boy, was he a gritty player.
He did that to the Sun Devils one night. Hit a 7,000-foot home run and then drag bunt. Easy, safe at first and back-to-back at bats.
He played like a guy who would drag bunt on you just to get under your skin.
Yes.
Really nice utility player in the big leagues, utility outfielder, swing and a miss.
He was not an enjoyable opponent.
Play all 3 outfield positions, hit lefties pretty well, had an idea of the strike zone, wore the pants way up to the knees.
Yeah. Prototypical Cal State Fullerton type.
Yeah. 1-2 the count to Whitten. Swing and a miss. This time Spencer gets him. 6 strikeouts to the lefty. That'll be the number 9 hitter Blake Wilson in this 1-1 game.
I have 8 swing and miss on that slider, and I know I'm light. I've not. It's probably at least 11. I don't think anybody's made contact with it. You're either taking it for a ball or you're swinging at it, and it's swing and miss.
1 out for Wilson. I've got him at 11 swings and misses on 16 swings. That's a very nice 69% whiff rate.
Yeah, that'll work.
That one lined into right field. Ballou, a late break, and he makes the shoestring catch. I don't know if, maybe not a late break, Runes, but he froze on the line drive for a second to make sure it didn't get over his head, and then used his athleticism.
And that ball's also working away from him. That's really well done.
I mean, if that gets by him, it's 3 bases.
Yeah, easy 3, yep.
2 outs. Bring up Sam DiCarlo. He struck out twice. Just in case you were curious, because I knew you were. 4 swings and misses tonight. DiCarlo bunts up along third. That's going to be a base hit. Spencer smartly eats it. And Washington has their second hit of the game. And they have a 2-out base runner for A.J. Guerrero. Spencer to this point, what do we say? 11 swings and misses on the slider, 5 on the fastball. He has 17 overall tonight. Max Banks, doing it a little different, has just 5. Pretty close in terms of pitch count. So,
how many are on the slider of the 17? 11, you said?
11.
That's pretty awesome.
First pitch to Guerrero, down and in, 1-0. Now, this is a guy that Washington would love to see get a mistake. Guerrero set a career high with 15 homers last year. He is tied for 5th in program history. And with a double-digit home run season, he would become the all-time home run leader in Washington baseball history since 1901.
I like it. In fairness to the 0-1, the hitters on that 0-1 team, they did have a season canceled on them, but maybe they wouldn't have caught A.J. Guerrero anyway.
They're playing a 10-game schedule. It may have been a little tough. The 2-0. Bounce foul. The count 2-1 to Guerrero.
I love, in scouting, in recruiting, profiles really matter and projection and those types of things. But in our sport, one thing that's fun is sometimes someone like A.J. Guerrero that the profile's not incredibly sexy. He's average size but strong. He's a right-handed thrower, right-handed hitter. But, man, can he hit. I mean, he can just flat out hit. And I love that.
2-1. Down and in. And the count 3-1 to Guerrero now. We had a good look at that last foul from Guerrero and
make a play.
Hey, that was a tricky hop. Didn't let it handcuff him. 3-1. Guerrero in the air to right center. Gasparito in the alley. Slowing makes the catch. He's like a gazelle out there. Runs it down, and the inning is over. 2-out single. Man left. Halfway through this one, Washington and Texas are tied at 1. A nice little smooch to get things started here.
Night at the Roxbury theme music. Thank you for that.
Runes is dancing in the broadcast booth here at Las Vegas Ballpark.
Guy stole your shirt, Coach Farron.
He did. Mine has a couple more flamingos on it. Beautiful AAA facility here in Vegas, the home of the Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. Kid got himself a new Aviators hat tonight.
The merch game here is on point this year.
I need to
stepped it up. Ryan Holloway and the good people at Peak, not messing around.
All 4 teams that are representative have merch here.
Oh, now we go.
We did not sell hats,
go.
though. Those were brought from home.
The gold chains with the cowboy hat, like
good
that.
Look.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
I tell you what, the guy with the Texas jersey on with the hat, that was a good look too.
Yeah. Yes and yes.
In on that. 1-1 the score. Kimball Schutzler to lead things off for Texas. Each team with a solo home run. Jalen Flores is in the on-deck circle. Hit one in the second. A 418-foot blast. Cooper Witten Hit one out to right. An opposite field home run off Jared Spencer in the third. That's all the scoring in this one. 6 strikeouts for Jared Spencer. He has walked a pair. Max Banks on the mound for Washington has been outstanding. 5 strikeouts, no walks. Fouled away. 0-2.
In this incredible, Max Banks, in today's college baseball, I would call fastball 91 to 93, maybe a tick above average. Maybe average, but let's call it a tick above average. And because he's got these hitters so set up, here we are in the 5th inning. He can almost throw it whenever he wants to. No fear of throwing this pitch.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss.
I got changeup there.
That was another right-handed changeup, right on right changeup, and that is his best pitch.
That's 0-2.
Look at that.
Goodness gracious.
6 strikeouts now. He has gone toe-to-toe with one of the most famous starters in the country. Max Banks, how about you? I mean, he doesn't have as much swing and miss as Spencer, but he's doing it when he needs it to put hitters away. And here's Jalen Flores, the one guy he didn't put away, who hit a cutter on the outer third out to left center field for a solo homer his first trip. And, of course, he gets a 2-seamer right there that backs up over the outside corner for a strike. Same spot that he gave up the home run, just a little different wrinkle to it.
Clinic. Absolute clinic.
I mean, somebody just copy this broadcast and send it to anybody that wants to learn how to pitch, because he's been amazing.
Oh.
Flores gets him again. 2-1 Texas. This time a slider, and Flores, his first 2 homers of the year, accounting for both Texas runs. Wow.
Holy heck. Now it's a party.
Slider on the outer third runs, and it seems like Jalen Flores can cover the outside part of the plate.
I mean, that was a laser bolt getting out of here.
Or 396 feet to left. His first one was 418. Texas reclaims the lead. Cole Chamberlain takes the ball inside, 1-0. We've had 3 stars tonight. It's been the 2 starters and Jalen Flores. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think his slow start is history.
Yeah, this will jumpstart you. How about that? Like, it just feels like an innocuous pitch, right? 0-1 slider, just finding your way into some count leverage, and then kaboom.
The 2-0. A strike, and it's 2-1. Chamberlain, who's a catcher by trade, serving as the DH. Freshman tied up on that one. That was a cutter at 92 running in on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was actually a cutter, if he just got around on a fastball there, but boy, that was Jared Spencer-esque.
Yeah, that's either way, Cole Chamberlain didn't enjoy that.
Ooh, just missed. Tried to backdoor him with a curveball, and it stayed off the plate. 3-2. Right pitch just didn't get it to the corner. Swing and a miss.
Wow.
Threw the fastball by him, and that's the second out. 7 strikeouts. And here's Tommy Farmer the fourth. 2-1 Texas, bottom 5. Both their runs on Jalen Flores solo homers. Line back through the middle, a base hit for Farmer. 2-out single. Fourth hit for Texas. And it's big because it'll clear the 9 spot in the order at the very least.
Catcher number 6, Rylan Galvan.
So at the top of the Texas lineup up to face Banks for a third time. And Bauer, the catcher, out to have a conversation with the right-hander. That was a short one. Just wonder if those conversations that are short like that are, I didn't appreciate you coming to visit. Could you go back?
What could you possibly say to me right now? That's what the conversation is.
You doing okay? I'm fine. Get back there.
Leave.
Okay. Galvin 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first trip. Foul away. 0-1. We get a note here from Josh White, the SID at Texas. Third career multi-homer game for Jalen Flores at Texas. His first one was 367 days ago, February 27th of last year. Now remember, it's 367 days because last year was leap year.
Oh, look at you.
Some quick thinking, Rooney.
Well done.
That was against St. John's. He also had 2 in a game against Abilene Christian in April. Another throw over to first and the runner back. What do you think about putting the runner in motion here with the 9-hitter up and 2 outs? Are you more concerned with clearing the 9 spot, or do you want to try and be aggressive to get a rally going?
I like the idea of just being aggressive, like not worrying about where you are in the order.
It's not going, swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
I just like I think if I'm Jim Schlossnagle right now, I want to do anything to put wear and tear on Max Banks, and if the running game puts a little bit more stress on him, I'm in favor of it.
Another throw over.
That's a pretty good little move, though. You know, like that's Max Banks has been out there enough that you know you're not going to just steal him blind.
The 0-2 trying to check his swing. He held up. Aaron Hyman. First base there, the umpire saying no swing. Runner bluffs going, snap throw behind the runner, and he's back safely. The count 2-2. But they're spending an awful lot of time on the runner at first with the number 9 man up at the plate.
Boy, Max Banks really needs to get in that dugout and regroup. This inning's starting to wear on him.
He'll step off here. Time is called. Banks wanted a new set of signs from the dugout. So we get a chance to reset here. And now time is called because Billy Van Ramphurst wanted them to reset the pitch timer.
Interesting.
2-2 the count, 2 outs.
This whole court's out of order, Coach Farron.
Swing and a miss.
Wow.
Coming down on strikes, and the inning is over. Texas reclaims the lead thanks to Jalen Flores' second home run of the night. We head to the 6th, 2-1 Texas. Back in Vegas, Texas with a 2-1 lead over the University of Washington in Game 2 of this 6-game tournament. Tomorrow, 2 games at noon Pacific time. University of Illinois and Washington will square off, and then at 4 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow, Texas and Texas Tech. But here's the story so far in this one. It is all about the pitchers. And Jared Spencer has been nasty with that slider.
Sure has. And Max Banks trading, going pitch for pitch with him. If not for Jalen Flores, Max Banks has actually beaten Jared Spencer.
2 solo home runs from Flores, the All-Big 12 shortstop from a year ago. A solo home run the other way from Cooper Witten, the number 8 hitter. Now the heart of the order for Washington faces Spencer for a 3rd time here in the 6th. Both pitchers have been efficient, fewer than 75 pitches to this point. Bauer leads off. No batting gloves for the right-handed hitting catcher. And first pitch misses low to him, 1-0. Talking to the Washington coaches, they were effusive in their praise for Bauer and his leadership skills. Just really excited about him and how he kind of helps control this team.
It's interesting, like for both of these teams, Coach Farron, Jim Schlossnagle for Texas, Eddie Smith for Washington, you are looking for some veteran players that you can, proverbially sink your teeth into from a program building and cultural standpoint. And, clearly Bauer fits that bill for Washington.
Tried to hold up, he went around. Washington has a difficult task just in that they are very, very young on this roster. It's just they're not getting a lot of contributions right now from the freshmen. That slider was ridiculous. And maybe they will later in the season, Bruins. I mean, that's something you would think that as part of program building, you want to get them some chances to compete. But there's also a huge developmental component to that first year in college. And Washington would like to keep those guys and use them as the core as they build over the next 2 years to try and get back to a regional.
Yep. And the freshmen are just hanging on for dear life. It's hard for them to lead.
Swing and a miss. Bauer down on strikes. Strikeout number 7 for Spencer, 1 out in the 6th.
I think this is slider again. Goodness gracious.
That one was elevated a little bit, but here's Cole. 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play and struck out swinging. Cole is another one of those guys that I'm not sure that they knew that he had leadership qualities, but they really liked the bat in the portal. And viewed as a really good fit for the program as they try to build that out. And, culture is a buzzword we hear a lot about now, Runes. And so I understand it's important to create a good workplace, right, or a good work environment. But to you, I mean, what are the elements that you want in players that are culture builders if they're not going to be stars?
Well, I think it's how they handle the tough days You know, if you're Washington and you're rebuilding, there are going to be some patches of time where it's not going very well. So do you let people cave in around those emotions, or do you keep fighting through it? You know, I think the work ethic part of it obviously that's massive. I think handling the adversity, though, is the hard part.
That one just missed. Tried to backdoor the slider. It was off the plate, and the count 1-2.
I think how people handle coaching, too, is that's where your player leadership is really important.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Blew him away with a high fastball, 2 outs.
Wow.
Strikeout number 8 for Spencer.
So that's 95 miles an hour. Here we are in the 6th inning. I mean, his fastball has not come down one tick.
2 outs for Taggart, who probably has put together the best at bat tonight against Spencer, at least in terms of working a count. Obviously, Witten's opposite field home run was the best result. There's a strike. Top of the zone. It's 0-1. Spencer's 0-1. Outside, it's 1-1. That one lined into left field. It'll get down in front of Farmer, a base hit. So lefty Taggart's put the ball in play 3 times against Spencer. And he's aboard 2 outs for Malachi Knight.
I think people will be tempted to play very right-handed lineups against Spencer because the slider is so scary. I'm not so sure that's the right idea.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, I think that slider is probably going to be an out pitch regardless, but if he's going to work middle away to lefty mostly,
Yeah, left-handers just have to look away. Right-handers, he's just in your jersey all night.
And we're going to get a visit from Max Weiner, the pitching coach for Texas. This next pitch will be pitch number 85 for Spencer. They do have some action in the bullpen. The righty is Roger Riojas, who has both one of the great names and one of the great mustaches in baseball.
Yeah, Ruger Riojas was a great get for them from UTSA, as is Max Weiner right here. This is as good of a pitching coach as we have in college baseball.
Weiner was at A&M last year, came out of the Seattle Mariners organization. Sort of a young pitching magician. He has a quick conversation with Billy Van Rathhorst. Ruger Riojas getting loose. Tying run at first for Washington. Top of the 6th. Texas leads 2-1. First pitch to Malachi Knight. Swings and rips one through the left side. A base hit. Stopping at second is Taggart, and now the tying and go-ahead runs are aboard for Washington.
Interesting.
That'll bring up Jackson Hotchkiss.
So this is where if you're Hotchkiss, you've got to look away, because that's going to help you take the slider down and in. If you swing at the slider down and in, this at-bat is going to end poorly for you.
And the slider command has gotten a little looser for Spencer here in this inning. I mean, he does have a couple strikeouts. And Billy Van Rathhorst wants him to reset the pitch timer again. Runners at first and second. First pitch. Hotchkiss takes in the dirt. Ooh, and that was nearly disaster out at second base. Taggart took a couple of steps towards third and then went down. Unfortunately for him, Galvin couldn't get a handle on it, or he would have been a dead duck between second and third. It's like he stumbled over his own feet.
Mm-hmm. Good first take by Hotchkiss. Not a great slider. You're right, the command has gotten away from him.
There's a strike. So just go right back to the fastball.
That's right. Boy, this is a huge pitch right here. You want to call slider, but the slider command has gotten away a little bit.
Hotchkiss is 0 for 2, the freshman with prodigious power. It's a piece in the count 1-2.
That was the pitch right there. It was a fastball, and now Spencer's got count leverage. He can do anything he wants. I like slider down and in here, Coach Farron. What do you like here?
I say go back to the fastball because I don't think he's proven that he can get to it. He chased one out of the zone there. And the number one has been awfully good for Spencer tonight. Texas fans on their feet, cheering on Spencer with a 1-run lead. Swing and a miss. Spencer out of the inning, strikes out the side. 9 punch-outs for the Texas left-hander as he strands a pair in the 6th. Hotchkiss down on strikes.
Now at BJ's Restaurants, discover the new $13 Pizookie Meal Deal. With a choice of 8 great brewhouse entrees, like hand-breaded chicken parmigiana pasta or our classic cheeseburger. And the sweetest ending ever, a free personal Pizookie dessert. Your choice of signature flavors. An entree plus free dessert, just $13. That's a sweet deal. Only at BJ's Restaurant and Brewhouse.
The Dizzy Bat Race, a staple of minor league entertainment, coming to the Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. The other staple is somebody biting it in the middle of it. Poor kid. You get for spinning around.
Careful.
That guy doesn't look like he feels so good.
Take his keys.
You might want to empty everything out of that bag real quick for him. Wow. Jared Spencer tonight, 89 pitches through 6 innings runs. He has 21 swings and misses.
Wow.
That's nearly a quarter of the pitches he's thrown tonight, and 2/3 of those are on the slider.
Wow.
Max Banks, who's been just about Spencer's equal tonight, back to the mound for Washington here in this 2-1 game. Jalen Flores has clipped him twice for solo homers, but Banks is going to go through the top of the Texas lineup for a 3rd time. Rosa struck out looking in the 3rd. Banks at 72 pitches. First pitch. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. He has worked ahead just like Spencer has. And a bunt back to the mound. Banks will throw him out easily. 1 out. Fields his position well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to the plate, number 44, Max Blue.
I mean, as exciting as it's been to see this version of Jared Spencer, and it has been really exciting. We've seen stuff like this from Jared Spencer before. We really haven't had a chance to see Max Banks.
Yeah, I mean, I know Washington's in a rebuild, but they are going to have a chance every Friday night.
I mean, he's going to match up really well against Big Ten offenses. And I know that still sounds weird to say, but Washington is in the Big Ten. Foul back. Also, they have trouble counting in the Big Ten. There's
or the Big 17.
17 teams. There should be 18.
Wisconsin, figure it out. Barry Alvarez.
You know, as many players as are littered on these rosters with good Wisconsin prep players. Wisconsin not having baseball is it really sticks in my craw.
I mean, it's really a black eye for the entire state, honestly, and its citizens.
I believe they once had the number 1 overall pick in the draft, right? Or was
Really?
it? No, I'm sorry. It was the last major bonus baby before the draft was instituted in '64. I think Rich Reichert went to Wisconsin and got the last big $300,000 bonuses back in the '60s, right? And that's what helped to lead to the draft.
This might go deep sauce right here. Max Bellew, I think, is Bellew, I should say. He's looking.
Oh!
He was willing to participate.
Elevated fastball, 2-2.
I'm in on Max Bellew. This has been fun to get an in-person look.
A couple of groundouts for him today. Big physical left-handed hitter lines it foul.
He just everything that comes off his bat is coming off hot. That ground ball in the first just about decapitated Sam DeClarlo.
Yeah, and to make a play in center field on it. The 2-2. On the ground towards the middle, diving attempt and pass. The second baseman Wilson into center field for a base hit. 5th hit of the night for Texas. It comes with 1 out in the 6th in this 2-1 game, and here's Will Gasparino. Flying out to left his last trip. No action as of yet in the Washington pen. Starting some guys throwing their plyo balls around. Doing some stretching, but that's it. First pitch to Gasparino, upstairs a ball, 1-0.
You're right. Banks does cut that fastball. He gets around that fastball and gives it a little cut life to it on occasion.
See the Texas pen with Ruger Riojas still throwing. We might see him in the 7th. Shank takes outside as Gasparino. It's 2-0. Now this becomes a critical pitch for Banks to keep Washington in this game. Gasparino has massive power. He fouls it back. Just a little tardy on that fastball. It's 2-1.
Yeah, this part of the order for Texas, no fun. Bellew, Gasparino, Rodriguez, Schussler, Flores.
And the top 6 guys, 5 of them have accolades, and the other one is a freshman who's off to a great start. Outside, it's 3-1 to Gasparino.
That's a great take. That's the take he probably didn't have in his bag last year. It's 2-2 instead of 3-1.
Now he's in the driver's seat here. A critical pitch. Blew the lead at first. 3-1's a strike. Boy, he put that in a perfect spot.
Yep.
It was a real good take by Gasparino. That if he swings at that, it's a double play.
Mm-hmm. That's just painted. Put Bellew in motion here, maybe?
I don't know. I'm not sure that I would. Which means they're probably going. Well, that's what Banks is thinking.
It's tricky, right? Because Gasparino, even though he's improved, he still is a candidate for a strikeout, but he's also a candidate for a double play ball.
Right.
Bellew, not a flyer, but also a good athlete.
Trust Gasparino to get the ball in the air. He did hit into a double play in the first. Not going, and he takes outside, ball 4, and Texas in business. 2 on with 1 out here in the 6th.
That is a really good at-bat by Will Gasparino. I don't think he had that at-bat in his bag last year. That's really well done.
That is the first walk issued by Max Banks tonight. It comes with 1 out in the 6th. And Adrian Rodriguez, you start to see some guys stretching in the bullpen. Sawyer Parkin, right-hander there for Washington. Rodriguez is fanned twice. And Billy Van Radforst wants him to reset the pitch timer again, just as Banks was starting his delivery. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Up and in. 1-0. Freshman switch hitter in a big spot here.
Real opportunity for this Texas offense right here.
On the ground, past the diving first baseman, and knocked down by Wilson. He'll have no play, but he saved a run. Heads up play by the second baseman, Blake Wilson ruins. He took his ability to get to that ball, kept this a 1-run game.
Sure did. And, you know, it's a good approach by Rodriguez. He kind of allows himself to get jammed there. Saved a run, and you know, if you're Washington, you're in a pickle here, but you're still a ground ball away from getting in the dugout, thanks to Blake Wilson.
So the bases are loaded for Schussler. He's fanned twice. Texas with a chance to take control of this game with 1 out in the 6th. They lead 2-1. First pitch to Schussler. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side, not a play. Schussler, a good candidate for a double play if you can get him to hit it on the ground.
What is his double play pitch? Is it slider away? Is it changeup?
I think it's got to be the changeup, right? I mean, he doesn't really throw a sinker. The changeup has that diving action. I think the other one would be a cutter off the end of the bat.
Yep. I do like fastball in here, too.
His nemesis, Jalen Flores, is on deck. Upstairs. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I think we know the pitch he's not throwing to Jalen Flores, and that would be slider. That pitch is not going well.
You see Flores there lurking over Banks' shoulder. He's homered twice off him tonight. Banks trying to keep this a 1-run game. The pitch. Through the right side, a base hit. 1 run is home. Second man coming to the plate. The throw cut off. Kimball Schussler with a 2-run single. It's 4-1 Texas.
It's good offense right there. Runners in scoring position. Just pop that single to right field. It was interesting. It was a foul.
Over the plate. And Schussler delivers a 2-run base hit. And we are going to get a visit for the first time tonight from the pitching coach for Washington, Connor Lambert. Lambert had done a great job the last several seasons with the University of Portland. So he's out to the mound to visit with the entire infield here as action's going to get started in the Washington bullpen.
Boy, Max Banks deserves better than what his current result is.
But all 3 times he's been burned, it's been on pitches away from right-handed hitters.
Yep.
Jalen Flores Wearing number 1 in the background there, waiting for a chance. He's already homered twice tonight off Banks. Washington still in this game. They really need Banks to get out of this without any further damage. Jared Spencer, terrific tonight. Ruger Riojas, who is an outstanding reliever, is loose in their pen. It seems likely to come on for the 7th. 4-1 Texas, and here's Flores. Takes upstairs, 1-0. Lost the feel for a changeup there as it floated above the zone. Banks keeping an eye on the runner at first. Fouled away. It's 1-1. Blutt's going from first, and Flores takes a strike. It's 1-2.
I just think even like right now, you might be tempted to throw Flores a slider. I think that's not a good idea. I like that fastball, and he just threw there. Maybe the changeup down and ends the pitch.
And time is called. Flores got something in his eye, so he'll use one of Texas's offensive timeouts. Each team in college baseball with 3 offensive timeouts.
Unwritten rule, Coach Farron, if you have 2 home runs in the same game, you are allowed to use one of your team's offensive timeouts.
I talked to Jim Schlossnagle about that before. He said, if you need to slow the game down, go ahead and use it. I don't like using them anyway. So
yeah. Is that like re-gifting?
The gift of time. The 1-2. Chop foul at the plate.
That was the cutter?
That was a changeup. There's a look at Flores' first home run tonight. Gave Texas the lead, and here's home run number 2.
First one was impressive, just of how strong Flores is, because he caught it way out in front. The second one left the building in 0.3 seconds. Just jumped out of here.
With an 800 feet of homers. And he gets jammed and fouls that one back and out of play. Went to the curveball that time and had him spinning. And that guy made the catch while he's on his phone, undoubtedly streaming it live on TikTok.
It's for the gram. That's some skills right there.
The phone was not damaged. His parents will be very happy about that. The 1-2 again. And it hit him. Another breaking ball. And that curveball hit Flores on the foot. And now the bases are loaded.
Designated hitter number 52, Cole Chamberlain.
And it brings up Cole Chamberlain. There's still only one out, and this is going to be it for Max Banks.
He literally did not take his phone out of his hand. That's amazing.
Bros are so hyped by it.
Oh, hashtag Lax Bros. That's amazing, Coach Farron. We're raising a generation of people catching foul balls with phones, not gloves.
Works smarter, not harder? Is that what it is?
I guess. Great
Incredible balance. Max Banks, day done, responsible for the runners on base with 1 out in the 6th, goes 5 in the 3rd. And now Texas has this real chance to take complete control of the game. They lead 4-1. As the new pitcher for Washington is Sawyer Parkin, senior right-hander from Vancouver, Washington, Columbia River High School. Parkin has made just 10 appearances in his first 3 years at Washington. This will be his 4th appearance of the year. There's not a lot of earned run in 3 1/3 innings. He has a couple of strikeouts, so he enters a big spot facing the freshman Chamberlain. Trying to keep Washington in this game.
Sawyer Parkin is coming in here to throw that slider. He throws it 56% of the time, and that is the best pitch, clearly. It's not really a swing and miss pitch, Coach Friend. It's more get it off the barrel pitch.
Chamberlain, strikeout victim twice tonight. Freshman still looking for his first collegiate hit. He was a big power hitter in high school. Chamberlain out of San Marino High School in California set the single season home run record there last year as he takes outside 1-0. That was a slider that didn't make it back to the corner. Base is loaded, 4-1 Texas. 2-0 to Chamberlain. Here's the 2-0. That one misses, and the count 3-0 now to Chamberlain. Three balls, no strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. He takes a strike, taking all the way. And the count 3-1. I would have to think that Cole Chamberlain is probably going to be swinging to make this an 8-1 game here.
I concur.
Ooh. Bounces it to the right side and through. A base hit. 2 runs are going to score. Flores stops at second. Cole Chamberlain's first Division I college hit. A 2-run single to right, and it's 6-1 Texas.
Nothing fancy here. Get yourself in a good count. Gets a fastball. Parkin throws a lot of sliders, but not in a 3-1 count in that scenario. And well done, Cole Chamberlain.
The first career hit for Cole Chamberlain extends this lead, and now here's Tommy Farmer, the 4th. Farmer has singled his last trip. He's 1 for 2. Misses inside, 1-0. Parkin's throwing a lot of breaking balls here. There's a strike.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it's just I mean, what did you say, 69%?
59, yep.
59?
Yep.
The 1-1. Swinging a foul tip. Boy, Farmer had a mighty cut. He had a hanger.
He saw it.
If it's high, let it fly.
That's right. That's what they say.
And generally about knuckleballs, but that also applies, I think, to spinning breakers, right?
For sure.
1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. That was a really good one. Farmer's down on strikes for round number 2. Now Parkin will face the number 9 hitter, Ryan Galvin, who's 0 for 2. That one had a lot of late movement on it. Galvin hitless tonight. It's 4 for 22 on the season. The 9th man to bat in this inning. Takes outside. It's 1-0.
I like it. You know, you bring a guy in that against a lot of right-hand hitters. If you're going to get him, you better get a slider.
In the air to right. Going back on it, Hotchkiss to the fence. It's out of here. Ryland Galvin with his first homer of the year.
Now that's how you hit a slider right there, Galvan. It is just get into your legs, stay on the ball, use the big gap. That is well done.
Galvan with his first of the year. It's 9-1 Texas. Third homer of the night for them. Now here's Mendoza, the 10th man to come up in the inning. He takes a strike at the knees. Mendoza 1 for 3. So now 1-1. Max Banks' line is going to look a lot worse than he pitched tonight.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That went down the right field line. That's a fair ball, and that'll get into the corner. Mendoza on his way to second. Hotchkiss having trouble with it. He's going to head to third, and Mendoza's got a sliding triple.
Mendoza's one of those guys that just, you could see him collecting a lot of hits in his college career, and he is an aggressive swinger, but what I love about his game is that he's going to get hits all over the field. It's going to be foul pole to foul pole.
And here's Max Ballou.
By the way, Coach Farron, stat broadcast, apropos of nothing, is showing me like launch angles and exit velocities. How good is that?
Oh, that's great.
New wrinkle.
I wonder if you're getting that from because there's publicly available data here through StatCast. AAA ballparks all have the Hawkeye technology in it because they use it for the automated ball strike zone too. It's the 1-0 to Ballou, and he swings and lifts it foul out of play.
Max Ballou is fun. It just, if a ball and his barrel intersect, it's going to be violent. One
1-1 the count. Set on the ground to first. Taggart has it. He'll take it himself, and the inning is over. Texas sends 11 to the plate. 7 of them score. We head to the top of the 7th with Texas leading Washington 9-1. We head to the 7th inning as Texas has blown this one wide open. A 7-run 7th. And now Cody Howard will take over on the mound. The Baylor transfer. Redshirt junior out of the Woodlands. Suburban Houston.
We started in 1978 with the delicious California twist on deep dish pizza. Today we've grown to become the energized.
He's getting a little bit sideways there in that inning. Max Banks' final line ruined 7 runs in 5 1/3 innings, but a couple of those were inherited runners that were allowed to score.
He deserves way better than that result. That's a bummer.
Howard getting loose, and just a reminder here is the 10-run rule is in effect for this tournament. So if Texas holds Washington here and scores twice in the bottom of the 7th, this game will end early. (9-1) Texas, taking advantage of the Washington bullpen and Max Banks coming out. We'll take a look at the 2 starters here. And again, this is just not going to give you the full idea of how well Max Banks pitched tonight. But Jared Spencer's day is done, Runes. And boy, that was as advertised. With some concern about he was a little shakier against Dartmouth last week, at least in terms of his command. But man, was this special from Jared Spencer tonight too.
Yeah, he was awesome. And, glove side into right-handers, he commanded 2 pitches on that side of the plate, and that is a recipe for success.
The only guy that clipped him was Cooper Witten, who hits. Here, takes outside. Witten, an opposite field home run in the top of the 3rd. That tied the game. This was a 2-1 game until the 6th. Ripped foul. Count 1-1 to Witten. Witten, Wilson, DiCarlo, the scheduled hitters for Washington. That one just missed.
Cody Howard is as far towards third base on the mound as you can be. It is awesome.
Heels on the third base side of the rubber. Do you think that creates a tough angle for a righty?
I mean, Adrian Rodriguez better be careful he doesn't get kicked in the face.
What in the dirt? It's 3-1. It's a good thing the leg kick isn't higher, or that would be a big problem, right?
Pick some dirt over there. For right-handed hitters, and Washington's got a truckload of them, that is no fun. Pitcher feels like he's behind you.
3-1 the count, the pitch. Off the end of the bat, towards the right side. Gloved by the first baseman and bobbled. Schussler couldn't get a handle on it. It would have been a tough play anyway, because it was not hit hard. We'll see how they score it, but
the dreaded triangle play.
Yep. Good job by Howard to cover the base right away, though. I mean, he made the right read here.
The ball was just had all kinds of funky spin.
He's charged with an error. That's a play that looks routine, but the way the ball is spinning, to your point, Runes, it's anything but.
Yeah, that's couldn't have rolled it out there any better if you were
tough error. But to that, obviously it's early in the season, so you hope that pitchers are doing their PFPs, but that's what pitchers are taught, right? Run after the ball as soon as you realize you can't get it. Bust it to first, and Howard looked like he was there. That was good baseball on his part. They just couldn't execute the play.
Yep. Maybe some karma. Schussler is a former catcher, or, maybe still a catcher, playing first base now. He's probably barked at more than a few pitchers who have boned a PFP in his day. And some of said pitchers probably having a little chuckle in the dugout tonight.
Not so easy now, is it, big fella?
Right, that's right. Well, that was a layup.
Squares a bunt to third. Rodriguez charging, throws, not in time. No, they called him out. They're going to challenge this, Runes.
I had him safe.
I did too. Rodriguez made a good play on that, but it looked like it was an infield hit.
What I'd like to see Rodriguez do, though, here is release the ball from where he catches it. He does that, catch it on his left, flip it over his right, and throw it.
The previous play is under review. Washington is challenging the out call.
Yeah,
he's safe.
He's safe.
Touched the orange base.
Did it right.
Did everything right there. This is going to get overturned. So would you rather see him stop then and throw?
No, what I'd like to see the third baseman do there is you work the ball to the right side of your body and throw it from down there. So I know
what you mean.
Yeah, just catch, and you really don't even catch the ball. You almost just
transfer it with the glove right to the hand.
Throw, yeah. Now there's no freshman infielder that comes to college baseball with that play in their back pocket. That's something you got to really work at. But that whole catch it on your left, flip it over to your right, like that step's the difference.
Guarantee you, Troy Tulowitzki, who the former all-star shortstop who's on the coaching staff at Texas, has circled that play to work on with Rodriguez.
100%. And, Rodriguez was a shortstop in high school, so that play's not as prominent.
And lots of good looks at this, but it's pretty clear he's going to be safe. Runner has to touch the orange base. As you can see, the double base rule in effect here. Something new to college baseball this year that will be in most of the power conferences for conference play. It has been in the peak event tournaments, but this is to help avoid collisions at first base. It's a smart rule, although I do think that there are still some of the gray area plays that we're learning on it, and a lot of that has to do, Runes, with just the volume of teams that play. I mean, when you've got 150 games a night, you're probably going to hit weird stuff more frequently and quicker in college with rule changes than you would in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it's a way bigger sample size, and we have certainly, when it comes to the double base at first, we've gotten weird already.
Billy Van Rapphorst, our crew chief and the home plate umpire, says that he is safe. And so the first two have reached against Howard here in the seventh for Washington.
Now batting number 51, Sam DiCarlo.
And here's Sam DiCarlo, who bunted for a single back in the fifth. 9-1 Texas. And that one through the right side, a base hit. Heading to third and stopping there is Witten, and the bases are loaded for Washington in the seventh. And here's A.J. Guerrero. Well, their best power hitter comes to the plate, Runes, with a chance to get them back in this game.
Yeah, loaded for the right guy. Sam DiCarlo had a really solid, if not better than solid freshman year, struggled last year. Would love to see more of that from him right there. Just a foul pole to foul pole approach. He's going to get plenty of opportunities in front of A.J. Guerrero, that's for sure.
9-1 Texas, but Washington threatening here in the top of the 7th. Guerrero takes a strike, 0-1. And I think we were having that conversation about building culture at Washington earlier. I would think that regardless of what the result ends up being, that Eddie Smith is going to be really happy with the effort when this team got down, that they didn't bury themselves. Guerrero to right, Ballou going back, still going back. It's a grand slam. A.J. Guerrero now has sole possession of 5th place on the Washington all-time homer list.
Boy, it's a fastball down and away, and same thing. He just gets into his legs, very similar to Galvan, and just rides that ball out of here to right center field.
A.J. Guerrero's first of the year, the 34th of his career. And that moves him into sole position of 5th place on the all-time home run list. And a base hit here for Bauer, so the rally continues. Guerrero had a tie broken with Jay Garthwaite for 4th, and next in his crosshairs, Will Simpson, who's currently the 4th on the all-time hit list with 36. The record is 42, so there's a real chance that A.J. Guerrero ends up as the all-time home run leader in Washington history before the year is done. And Jim Schlossnagle's seen enough. Cody Howard faced 5 batters and didn't retire any of them tonight. And Washington trying to mount a comeback here, down 9-1. They've cut it to 9-5 thanks to the Guerrero grand slam.
Got the coach against Jay Garthwaite, who A.J. Guerrero just left in the dirt. Jay Garthwaite, good player, good hitter, large man.
Early 2000s, 2002 to 2005.
That's right.
That Washington lineup, as you see Ruger Riojas coming in. So Riojas, who had been hot when the game was close, as it got a little bit sideways, he sat down, but now one of the top relievers in the SEC is coming into the game for Texas.
Yeah, Riojas was great at UTSA and very unique. Synergy says that he throws his fastball 75% of the time. My first in-person look at Ruger Riojas. I am excited.
Riojas, 46 relief appearances the last 2 seasons. Second team All-American Athletic Conference a year ago. And a great mustache.
Elite.
The look plays.
Yeah. He is also way over on that third base side of the rubber.
It's all about creating angles, and I think that's a big part of the work that Max Wiener does, is trying to find, the pitching coach for Texas, trying to find the right angles that plays with player stuff. How do you create the most uncomfortable look for hitters? As was pointed out to us by Texas SID Josh White, yes, Ruger Riojas does warm up to poker face.
Nice.
You have that on your playlist, right, on your phone? A lot of Gaga?
A lot of, yes. I have its own, it has its own playlist. Some days are just Gaga days. I think we all feel that way.
Yeah. Gaga for the Runes Dogs.
That's right. All right, here we go.
Riojas is done with his workout, his warm-up pitches. last year. 75 strikeouts in 69 in the third innings, and off to a strong start this year out of the Texas pen. He inherits a 4-run lead and will face Trevor Cole with a man at first. Nobody out, still top of the seventh. 9-5 Texas. First pitch misses low, 1-0.
So that's something at 83 miles an hour. Is that the split? He warmed up in warm-ups. Yes. It was fastball, slider, split.
That looked to be the splitter. Foul back. That was a breaking ball. It was up a little bit. Count 1-1. Popped up. Shallow right. Mendoza out. Makes the catch over the shoulder for out number one. So big first down here in the seventh. 9-4 Texas for Kason Taggart. We had a long way to go on that ball, Runes.
Yeah. I think Max Ballou, if he could redo that one, probably takes that ball. They are playing very deep, however.
Yeah, the idea behind that is take away extra base hits in the alleys, right? That's the trend in Major League Baseball, is to play as deep as you can in the outfield. Singles won't burn you nearly as much as the extra base hits. The 1-0 to Taggart. He hits him through the right side. That's a base hit. Bauer stops at second. Now all of a sudden, Malachi Knight coming to the plate. Washington starting to feel it a little bit here.
Yeah, and we talked about, building the program and the culture and how they're going to play. And I know Washington is sitting here at 3-6, but this could have been a game where you very easily just pack it in, and they have not done that at all.
Yeah, your ace was really good. Things fell apart in the sixth inning. You give up a 7 spot. You're on the verge potentially of being run ruled. And now they've battled back to cut this to a 4-run deficit. Upstairs, 2-0 tonight. Outside, 3-0. And Hotchkiss, the powerful freshman, on deck. The 3-0. Knight takes ball 4 and the bases are loaded. And suddenly Washington has the tying run coming up. And there's still only 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, this is it's getting uncomfortable.
We went from pitcher's duel to full-on offensive laser show in a matter of minutes tonight. Hotchkiss, a pair of doubles in his young college career. A physical right-handed hitting outfielder. Takes the first pitch strike. It's 0-1. Six foot 3 inch, 190-pound freshman from Battleground. Waits. Foul back. It's 0-2. A little tardy on that slider. That may have been a pitch to hit there, but just a little late. Now Rioja set the pitch. In the dirt, it gets to the screen. Coming home to score from third is Bauer, and it's a 9-6 game.
Interesting.
Avana had a chance there, but couldn't quite get the handle on it after it ricocheted off the back wall and kind of was left sprawling.
And, for Texas, in theory, Ruger Riojas is your guy. Like, you didn't wait for the ninth. This is your high leverage guy.
The 1-2. Outside, it's 2-2. Remember, it all started with an error on the first baseman, Schussler, on a spinning ball between first and the mound. Thomas Burns, another Arizona State transfer, the Wisconsin native, getting loose in the bullpen. Foul back. Jackson Hotchkiss waiting. 2-2 the count. The pitch in the dirt, and the count is full. Cooper Witten on deck has already homered tonight. 3-2 the count. The payoff. Hit on the ground to third, off the glove of Rodriguez. He can't find it, and everybody's safe. That ball, it looked like Rodriguez tried to make the pick on the short hop runs and just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, it was kind of an off the end of the bat, a little bit awkward from Hotchkiss.
By the way, they have changed the error on Schussler to a single by Witten to start the inning, and now the 10th man will come to the plate in the inning for Washington as Texas has to make another pitching change. So Hotchkiss, an infield single here, loads the bases. Still only one out, and Burns coming in. Texas went from a comfortable lead to having to burn their two biggest arms from the right side. And Burns, who was the Friday starter to open last year at ASU, a sophomore from Wisconsin, coming in.
The good news here is, like as you're pointing out, Coach Farron, Burns, really, this reliever thing is new for him. I would argue his kind of arsenal and getup does have reliever feel to it. There's effort to it, and he does spray his fastball around, but he's certainly, if you're Texas, you need 8 outs. Thomas Burns could get you 8 outs.
Right now they could use one. They are in jeopardy of losing a lead that they worked hard to not just gain but extend. A 7-run 6th inning for the Longhorns. And the Huskies have battled back for 5 in this inning and still have the bases loaded with 1 out in the 7th. Would you go so far as to say that the Huskies have that dog in them?
I don't think there's any better way to say it. I think that's the mic drop moment of the game right there. Brought to you by Sony, or I don't know who.
Bob's Microphones.
Bob's.
Don't just talk. So Burns finishing his warm-up tosses here. He inherits a mess. Burns with a big fastball range. You saw a lot of them last year at ASU, and as a freshman was going to be counted on before injuries kind of sidetracked him last season.
Yeah, no, it's great makeup. He's made of all the right stuff. Very aggressive kid, composed. They loved him at Arizona State, and he's got 4 pitches that can miss your bat. It's swing and miss stuff. The thing for Burns, you can see there's violence in the delivery, and the command can get loose. He will spray the ball around, but the competitiveness and the stuff are excellent.
From Hortonville, Wisconsin. Do you know the nickname of Hortonville High School? It is not the Who's.
The Hogs?
The Hortonville Polar Bears.
Oh, thank you for that.
I'm not sure that there are polar bears in Wisconsin, but outside of Hortonville, of course.
But it's still, who doesn't appreciate that as a mascot?
That was Burns is a bear of a right-hander, and he enters a bear of a spot. 9-6 the score. Texas leading as Witten takes a high strike. It's 0-1. Cooper Witten today 2 for 3, including an opposite field homer. The 0-1. Outside, it's 1-1. Washington with the tying runs on base here in the 7th. Start of the inning down 9-1. Upstairs. 2-1.
Well, I would be absolutely floored if Burns threw anything other than a fastball right here, and if you're Witten, you get a chance to get on time for something.
2-1 the count.
Ooh,
checked
slider.
His swing. No, he went around, says Billy Van Rampoort. It's 2-2. Well, he was looking for the express and got the local.
Yeah, how about that? Max Wiener, that is advanced pitch calling right there. No fear in that pitch call.
2-2. He was so geared up for the fastball that he couldn't lay off. The 2-2. Foul back. He hung that slider. It was right in the wheelhouse for Witten.
Hard hitting Cooper Witten. This feels like a large pitch.
This is pretty big at 2-2. In the dirt, and the count is full. This might be an even bigger pitch.
Just kind of overcooked that fastball, didn't he? Didn't trust it.
1 out, bases loaded. Washington trailing 9-6. They have 5 runs home in the inning. The 3-2 fouled away.
3-2 slider. I like it. And Cooper Witten spoils it.
It was up. Everything has been up with the breaking ball for Burns so far.
The fastball's been 93, 94. He's got more in there. And this might be the pitch to go find that.
The 3-2 again. Hit on the ground through the left side. It's a base hit. 1 run comes home. Knight will hit the brakes at third. It's an RBI single for Witten. His 3rd hit of the night, and it's a 9-7 game. And that'll bring up Blake Wilson. And now a base hit would tie this game potentially. And there's still only 1 out.
Is it? Am I right in saying that Washington has 8 hits in this inning? It's 7 or 8.
Well, they've had 10 men come to the plate. Only one has been retired, and they've had one walk. Big blow, the grand slam from A.J. Guerrero as the 9-hitter Wilson delivered a bunt single in this inning. Takes high, 1-0. And remember, 2 infield singles got it started. Down 9-1, a squibber to first, and then a bunt single by Wilson. Started this merry-go-round. Third pitcher of the inning for Texas. Pitch. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Burns trying to slow things down. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. That was the best breaking ball he's thrown. It's 1-2. Mm-hmm. Upstairs, it's 2-2.
Boy, if you're Texas Tech and you're playing Texas tomorrow, you're loving this. Just run right through that bullpen.
Burns waiting for the sign that he wants. He comes set. The pitch. Down low and the count's full. This incredible rally that Washington has put together here in the 7th. Just watch them work 2 of the best relievers that Texas has. Burns already at 13 pitches. This is the second hitter he's faced. The 3-2. Called strike 3. Landed the slider on the corner for out number 2.
Big, big pitch. Boy, that is well done. You know, Burns, it's not been super smooth, but his body language on the mound, you can see the competitiveness that everybody talks about. It hadn't changed it a bit. He looked as confident as if things were going perfectly, and that is a huge punch out.
Sam DiCarlo singled through the right side his last trip. Bases still loaded, top of the 7th, 9-7 game. Washington has scored 6 runs in the inning. First pitch to DiCarlo. Swinging a chopper to third and foul. This was a 2-1 game going to the bottom of the 6th.
Feels like that was a different game. Is this our 3rd game of the day?
It's a doubleheader tonight. At least I would make it a tripleheader today.
Yes.
It's basically what you said. I'll be quiet now. Here's a 1 coming to DiCarlo. Called strike.
Okay, now he's cooking with gas.
0-2. Texas fans getting loud, trying to encourage Burns. The pitch. Called strike 3. Burns with a couple of strikeouts holds the lead. Washington leaves them loaded, but they score 6 times. It's time to stretch in Vegas. Texas 9, Washington 7.
Dip into your Raising Cane's whenever the craving strikes for something hot and fresh and oh so delicious. Dip in for perfectly salted, crispy, crinkle-cut fries. Dip in for garlicky, buttered Texas toast. And of course, dip in for tender, hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers made just for you. At Raising Cane's, our secret cane sauce makes every dip a delight. Order on the app or online so you can dip out just as fast as you dipped in.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
9-7 Texas as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Sawyer Parkin's going to go back to work. Excuse me, I think this is a new pitcher. Yes, it is, for Washington. Gunnar Nichols, Pepperdine transfer, is going to take over on the mound here to try and keep this a 2-run deficit for Washington. Based on the pitcher's duel we had between Jared Spencer and Max Banks for most of this night, which was more surprising, that Texas went to the 7th inning up 9-1, or that it's 9-7 now as we go to the bottom of the 7th?
I mean, it does strike you as one of those deals where hitters, when two starters are going toe-to-toe, the hitters are just like, yes, anybody but those two people on the mound.
Jared Spencer punched out 9 and 6 really good innings for Texas. Max Banks' line will not look good, but he was outstanding for UW. In the 6th inning, he got in a little trouble, and then the bullpen couldn't help clean things up, and that led to the big inning. But the A.J. Guerrero grand slam that made it 9-5 got the Washington Huskies back into this game. And they tacked on 2 more runs and had the tying and go-ahead runs on base when the inning ended. Wow.
Yeah, this game got away from us there.
Yeah.
We just scored 13 runs in the last 2 halves.
Will Gasparino will lead off for Texas. It's not a brand new game, but it is a lot different than it looked like about an hour ago. Gasparino will lead things off, 0 for 2 today. First pitch to the big center fielder is a ball. It's 1-0. Gunnar Nichols, as we mentioned, a transfer from Pepperdine. It's inside. He made 33 appearances for the Waves over the 2 previous seasons. Pitch outside, and the count 3-0 to Gasparino. The pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. Gasparino draws a leadoff walk.
Next up, number 24, Adrian Rodriguez.
This game is hashtag lit, Coach Farron.
Just like the strip at night, it is hashtag lit.
The mechanism by which pitchers acquire outs is broken. Get me my duct tape, please. We are deep into bullpens, and things are escalating for the offenses.
Adrian Rodriguez is 1 for 3. First pitch, switch hitter, batting left-handed, takes low, 1-0. I know the country's gone crazy for crazy glue, but I'm not sure that there's a better chance of putting Humpty Dumpty back together again.
This is, in theory, if this is going to be a battle of the offenses, you'd give a massive advantage to Texas. But Washington has been on, that last half was a masterclass.
And outside of the 2 games the opening weekend, Texas's offense has not been quite what we anticipated. Pitch is a strike.
Yeah, the weekend against Dartmouth was jarring. Like, because Texas's offense is famous, and it was Dartmouth, right? It was an Ivy League team.
Yep.
It was Dartmouth, yep. They just didn't, you're right, they didn't score much.
Now, the weather was very cold in Austin, and they were in a 1-0 game against Incarnate Word in the midweek before breaking things open late. And that's kind of what today felt like, although with a legit Friday starter on the mound for Washington. I mean, it was when Texas got the big lead. It felt like they were going to pull away. But, boy, credit to this Washington Huskies bunch. 2-2 to Rodriguez now.
For both teams, not ideal to get this deep into the bullpen on Friday night, but c'est la vie. Now your offense has got to tape it up and let's go get a game.
Into right field, a base hit for Rodriguez. Gasparino will head to third. Runners at the corners with nobody out for Texas in the bottom of the 7th. Take a look at the swing from Rodriguez.
Yeah, I love that. Like that's what a junior would do, right? 2 strikes, stay on the baseball.
Keep the hands back when you're out front on a breaking ball. That was really impressive.
That's 2-strike hitting right there.
That's why they're so excited about Rodriguez. Here's Schussler. Schussler, a 2-run single in the 6th, 1 for 3. Some action in the Washington pen. A right-hander getting loose. First pitch outside to Schussler. It's 1-0. You say you want a regional-style environment to open the season. This definitely feels like it. The intensity.
It's batty like a regional.
Yeah. Weird stuff happening. Super competitive teams. Fouled away.
Yeah, bring your own glitter and glow sticks tonight. It has gotten wacky.
I mean, remember in our first game, it was a seesaw affair between Illinois and Texas Tech, and Illinois had the lead heading to the bottom of the 9th before Texas Tech busted things open and held on for a 10-6 win. As the right-hander getting loose for Washington is Bradley Gilbert, freshman from Redlands in California. That one fouled away. So we've had some entertaining ball games today for sure.
Yes. And, Illinois has had a great start to their season, but Texas Tech getting a win in that game, that makes you feel like, okay, Texas Tech, as you like to say, now we go.
I'm often saying that. When it down low, and they count 2-2, and I'm sure Texas Tech is probably feeling like they got a good chance tomorrow when they take on Texas. The only meeting of those two schools this year will happen tomorrow on D1Baseball.com. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
For Texas and Washington, this is, first-year coaching staffs. Building a very deep pitching staff, that's very difficult in year one.
Fouled away.
Which is a long way of saying that this game, which is hugely important for both clubs, for Washington, this is a belief game. This is a,
right.
Hey, we can, the best version of us beats anybody. For Texas, these types of games are the difference between hosting and not hosting. And right now, your position player groups for both clubs, it's mouthpieces in, and it ain't going to be pretty.
Well, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens once we get down to tournament time in the SEC. That one chopped to the middle, could be 2. Carlo to second for 1, on to first, a double play. Gasparino scores. It makes it 10-7 Texas. No RBI for Schussler.
Flores.
I never understood that scorekeeping rule. He literally drove in a run right there.
Yeah, but he made 2 outs. You should feel shame in the eyes of.
But why don't we? Could we just ground him or take his phone?
All right, come here. Just give me all the seeds. No sunflower seeds for you.
But the RBI literally happened.
You don't get credit for it. Jalen Flores has homered twice tonight. He takes a big slow breaking ball for ball 1. But I was just starting to say that with the SEC, we don't really know how that, not just how that conference is going to play out, but how any of these massive conferences are going to play out when it comes to the committee, because we don't have any real data points to go on with the Pac-12's dissolution. So those teams have been dispersed to 4 different conferences. Is it going to make, because the RPIs will be better, does that mean that all of a sudden most of the at-large bids, or all but a handful, 1 or 2, are going to go to Power 4 teams? Like, what does it do to the Sun Belt, which is a really good conference that plays a good RPI schedule? What does it do to that next tier down of mid-majors? We don't have any idea, because if we end up with 12 from the SEC and 10 from the ACC and 7 from the Big 12, you're running out of at-large bids pretty quickly.
And I think the SEC, what makes that league really hard to parse out is last year they had 11 teams out of 14. But that was the first time ever for 11. Now, they had been doing 10 more and more frequently.
And the ACC had, 8? Driven down the right field line and foul.
Yeah, I think it is going to be fascinating. Our good friend Mark Etheridge says this all the time. We really have to train ourselves to be careful with conference records because the leagues are so imbalanced. You can be in the same league as somebody and play a completely different set of 30 games. I still think the conference play is the most level playing field we have, but it's less level than it used to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, none of those those leagues have divisions anymore. Fouled away, which I guess I kind of understand, but also kind of don't. As the footprint for the leagues has expanded, you would think that you would want a more regional feel. Not like the NCAA regionals, but geographically regional feel.
I never heard someone verbalize the rationale for losing the divisions. I know there's got to be a reason.
Football. Outside, ball 4. Flores works a 2-out walk, and here's Chamberlain. 10-7 Texas, bottom 7.
Designated hitter number 52, Cole Chamberlain.
Chamberlain, his last at bat, his first collegiate hit, a 2-run single. Texas has gotten one of the runs back that they gave up in the top of the inning. They lead by 3, last of the 7th. 17 runs, 23 hits combined between these two teams so far. Down low, it's 1-0. It hasn't been a walk fest either. It's been offenses earning this for the most part.
Yeah, 23 hits and counting.
On the ground is second. To his left is Wilson. He will throw out Chamberlain, and the inning is over. Texas gets a run. We've played 7. Texas 10, Washington 7. Eighth inning on this gorgeous night in Vegas. As you get a look at the strip, the north end of it.
Air traffic control, what are we calling that again?
That's something else. Something fancier.
Stratosphere.
I think you spent a lot of time there.
Been there once.
Have you? I've never been to it.
Yeah.
I'm interested in going to the Sphere.
Ooh.
To see a concert there.
Those sound fancy.
I've walked by it. It's big.
I'm kind of a Bellagio kind of guy, Coach Farron.
What? Because you saw Ocean's 11?
Yes, exactly.
It's out to get Terry Benedict, aren't you? You know he's not real, Runes. AJ Guerrero will lead things off.
Mr. Benedict.
I shouldn't say anything bad about Terry Benedict or he'll come and find me.
That's right.
AJ Guerrero hit a grand slam. His first home run of the season, his last at bat, now all alone in fifth place in Washington history on the all-time home run list.
What an awesome home run, too, right? I mean, just like
opposite field grand slam.
Pipe that into the opposite field, too.
Fouled away.
See, this is the A.J. Guerrero thing. That's what's so hard in recruiting is it's a right-handed hitting left fielder that just rakes. But, you know, how do you know that in recruiting?
Guerrero was a pretty famous high school player, if I remember right.
He was. He was coming in. He was a name that the Washington coaches were very quick to express, like, this we really feel good about this guy. Oh, good pitch.
Waves at that one. It's 2-2.
Thomas Burns is starting to feel the slider a little bit.
It's a lot different when there's nobody on base. When he had to come into a bases-loaded jam in the last inning, he got out of it with the lead. Working from the stretch even with nobody on.
I think
foul.
It'll be interesting because, you know, Thomas Burns did not throw a ton last year. He made 6 starts for Arizona State, but he's got all the right makeup. It's a good arm. I wonder if this is the ideal role for him once they get into SEC play, is 1 timeout per weekend and go get 6 to 9 outs.
2-2. Foul back. I mean, he's got the closer build, mentality, the up-tempo delivery.
Yeah, he pitches with great energy without getting sped up.
Yeah,
it's a really nice mix. Just a good vibe out there.
Upstairs, and the count is full to Guerrero. 10-7 Texas, top of the 8th. Down low, ball 4. Leadoff walk.
As much as no coaches love leadoff walks, no pitchers like leadoff walks, but I think with Thomas Burns, you're just at this point in his pitching career, because it wasn't a ton of innings last year, as he's gathering reps, you're going to have to live with some spraying of the baseball. It's just not pinpoint control yet.
First pitch swung out and missed by Bauer. 0-1.
It's that he's a better strike thrower with his slider than his fastball right now. That's so interesting. That's his strike pitch.
And he hit him, and now the tying run's coming to the plate with nobody out in the 8th. Just as you were talking about how good this roll is for him, things have kind of gone sideways here. Guerrero puts a good at-bat on him. And Bauer walks, and now here's Cole. Trevor Cole is the tying run. He was looking down Eddie Smith for a sign at third, and Eddie had his back turned to him. I think that's the universal sign for if you see one, tie up the game.
Drag bunt works here.
Time is called. Max Wiener's going to head out to the mound, the pitching coach for Texas. With a quick jog. Because he's one of the youngest coaches in America. He can do that.
That's right.
Whatever he's saying to Burns, Burns seems to be, so he's got a little smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's some variation of, hey, we got a 3-run lead. Go after these guys. Probably a little smarter than the way I said it, but
no, I was buying. I like that that Max Wiener and Galvan had a little exchange at the end there. Like I wonder if Galvan was saying like, hey, the slider is what we got right now.
All right, here's Trevor Cole, 0 for 4. Tying run at the plate for Washington, nobody out in the 8th. First pitch. Outside, 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, the fastball's just not real close right now. That's a fairly big miss. Duplantier?
Yep, Andre Duplantier. Long-time Texas relievers starting to get loose. Upstairs, 2-0. He is consistently, when he's missed up.
Yep. Yeah, and right now Thomas Burns is suddenly pitching for an extended stay in this game. I think the next hitter that reaches base, he's going to come out of the game.
The 2-0. Upstairs, it's 3-0. Burns looks at the lead man. The 3-0. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. And nobody is out. Another walk. I'm waiting to see if Jim Schlossnagle is going to make the move. He is standing on the top step of the dugout. And he's going to let Burns face Taggart.
Wow. No.
Nope, now he's gone. Andre Duplantier II is going to come in. Texas's bullpen has scuffled, giving up 6 runs in the 7th. And Thomas Burns has loaded the bases with nobody out in the 8th. They lead Washington 10-7. And here comes Duplantier. Redshirt senior Duplantier has seen an awful lot in the Texas uniform ruins. This is his 6th year. He's played long enough that his little brother Jaden is on the team now.
That's awesome.
Joined them in 2020 as a two-way player. Had a redshirt year in 21. And since 2020 was a year where everyone was granted an extra year of eligibility, this is his 6th year in college baseball. Led the team in appearances a year ago, had a good season. And he's going to be charged with trying to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out mess and preserve at least a portion of this 3-run lead.
That arm slot is Boy, that's way down there. I like it. A little sidearm action.
Low slot righty. Plenty. Probably is going to have to get the last 6 outs of this game if Texas is going to hold on. All right, the right-hander is ready to go. Bases loaded. Top of the 8th inning. Nobody out. 10-7. Texas leading Washington. Kason Taggart, who singled in his last 2 plate appearances, stands in. Lone lefty in Washington's lineup tonight takes a strike. It's 0-1. Now time is called, and they're going to get together for an offensive conference as Washington here. So they use the offensive timeout. What are these conversations like, Runes? I mean, what's the message in this? Is it just to try and freeze Duplantier a little?
I think if you're Eddie Smith, whatever, this is, you've got a door for a window into this game right now, and you got to have it. And so whether he didn't like, the way Taggart took that pitch, maybe he wants to review the base running, but if you're Washington, this is your open door to go get this game.
The pitch was a borderline strike, and he takes another one. That one had the plate. It's 0-2. Taggart's going to have to battle now. Bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the 8th. Now it's foul. Here's the 0-2. Outside, it's 1-2 now.
That's a good take.
He shot him 3 different pitches in this at bat. A fastball, a slider, that changeup there.
Taggart was a good pickup for Washington. I thought he was really productive for Washington State and really was one of their best hitters for stretches last year.
The 1-2 in the dirt. It hit him. It hit him, and it'll bring in a run. It's a 10-8 game. We were just talking about how neither of these teams had really had control issues tonight that had led to this, and 2 walks and 2 hit batters in this inning by Texas pitching.
And what you worry about if you're Max Wiener and Jim Schlossingle right now is this gets contagious. Like it just... Every arm that comes in the game has labored.
You're starting to run out of guys. I mean, they start thinking about the freshman Volantis. They've got Mercer still in the pen, who's got a lot of experience. First pitch tonight, fouled away. I mean, it's a little different situation than Washington, who is, again, a team that is rebuilding, that has kind of openly trying out for some of these bullpen roles. Texas has a number with fairly famous arms. They just have not had a good night tonight out of the pen. The 0-1. Outside tonight, it's 1-1.
Yeah, if you're Washington, this is just an awesome opportunity as you build your program. If you're Texas, you're seeing a ghost right now. Like, this is spooky.
The pitch. Upstairs, it's 2-1. The UCLA transfer. Malachi Knight with a deep breath. He takes low. It's 3-1. Still nobody out in this inning. The set. The 3-1. Chop towards short, charging Flores. Gloves only played a first in time to get Knight. A run scores on the play, and the other runners move into scoring position. It's a 10-9 game.
Didn't see this coming, Coach Farron. This is fascinating. Nice play by Flores. I don't know. There's really no other option there.
Well, now that insurance run that Texas got in the bottom of the 7th looms really large because that's the difference in this game. And here's Hotchkiss. The freshman, an infield single his last trip. Infield's going to play back as Hotchkiss takes a strike, 0-1. And the freshman tonight has fanned twice. He has the infield single. He's grounded to third. Inside, it nearly hit him. And the count 1-1.
The Huskies are in can-do mode. Like, Hotchkiss will wear one if given the opportunity.
Swing and a miss.
Ah, nice pitch.
Chasing a slider off the plate. It's 1-2.
That's a tough take. Duplantier's arm slot. That slider, that's really hard to stay closed on your front side there.
And the freshman Hotchkiss looking for a mistake that he can hammer. Swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Really good pitch.
A huge second out by Duplantier. And now it'll take a 2-out hit for Washington to get the game tied or take the lead. And it'll be up to Cooper Witten. Witten, 3 hits today, including a solo homer off Jared Spencer. Had a pair of hits in the 7th. First pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 0-1. The 0-1. Strike 2. Lands another breaking ball.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. Now, that's the slider that you got to hit. What you worry about for Witten right now is Duplantier's just going to take that pitch and scoot it another 4 inches where he can't get to it.
Now, remember, Galvan, a good defensive reputation behind the plate. But you have to wonder whether or not Duplantier tries to throw something outside the zone, and if he spikes it, it's going to be a lot of pressure on the catcher. Tying run at third. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Andre Duplantier II escapes the jam and holds the lead for Texas. We head to the ninth. Texas 10, Washington 9.
Now at BJ's Restaurants, discover the new $13 Pizookie Meal Deal. With a choice of 8 great brewhouse entrees, like ham-breaded chicken parmigiana pasta or our classic cheeseburger. And the sweetest ending ever, a free personal Pizookie dessert. Your choice of signature flavors. An entree plus free dessert, just $13. That's a sweet deal. Only at BJ's Restaurant and Brewhouse.
What looked like it was going to be a great pitcher's duel turned into a potential blowout, and now is a one-run game as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Texas clinging to a 10-9 lead over this plucky bunch of Washington Huskies. They scored a pair of runs in the 8th inning without the benefit of a hit. And now Washington onto a new pitcher.
Oh, is this Josh Emanuel?
This is Josh Emanuels, the redshirt senior. Emanuels, who battled injuries, missed almost all of last year. He was an all Pac-12 honorable mention in 2023. The redshirt senior will take over trying to keep this a one-run deficit. He faces 8-9-1 in the Texas order. Farmer, Galvan, and Mendoza.
Well, you're right. Emanuel's Coach Farron started his career at Washington. You talk about trusted guy. 59 appearances in his first 2 years. Literally the go-to guy.
Trying to work his way back into that and trying to keep this a one-run game going to the 9th. If you're just joining us, you have missed a lot. Jared Spencer, Max Banks went head-to-head in a pitcher's duel. Spencer, 6 innings of one-run ball. Banks gave up 2 solo homers to Jalen Flores and then ran into trouble in the 6th, and Texas put up a 7 spot in the inning. They were leading 9-1. Washington answered with 6 in the 7th. A.J. Guerrero, an opposite field grand slam at it. Texas got a run back in the 7th, but Washington plated 2 in the 8th, and that's where we're at a one-run game. There's a look at Spencer, whose hair was short when this one started. That's a strike. It's 0-1.
It's not even your best line of the night, Coach Farron. Second best. I thought your observation that the Huskies have that dog in them was really your best work.
Well, there's a strike. It's 0-2. Well, they came here looking for steak, not for kibbles, so they're...
Well said.
Especially appropriate since they're facing Longhorns, right? Which it's not just the name of a steakhouse, Runes. It's also cows. That one outside, it's 1-2. We're bulls.
Bulls.
Tommy Farmer, a single in 3 trips. Chopper to third, going to be a tough play. Glove by Cole, throws on the run, not in time. Infield single for Tommy Farmer, the 4th. Leadoff man on for Texas in the 8th.
Nice hustle by Farmer. He's flying down the line.
Ryan Galvan hit an opposite field 3-run homer in the 6th inning that looked like it was going to put this game out of reach. But Texas has needed every single run now. And the question is, Runes, do you play for one if you're Texas here? Or do you try and build a big inning again? Because the top of the order, it's going to be 9-1-2 for Washington, who has been feisty. Well, not bunting. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. Not that Jim Schlossnagle is a guy that calls for the bunt play an awful lot. But
what does make me anxious, though, if your Texas is slider guy against your catcher, this could be this. There's several sequences that lead to a double play ball here.
Manuels is going to keep the runner Farmer fairly close. Ethan Mendoza in the on-deck circle. That one to second. That could be two. Wilson to first. Double play, just as you suggested. That'll bring up Mendoza. So looking ahead to the Washington ninth, Blake Wilson scheduled to lead off, the number 9 hitter. Then Sam DiCarlo and A.J. Guerrero, their top power bat, who has a grand slam in this game. 10-9 Texas. Mendoza 2 for 4. First pitch to the right-handed hitter. Outside, 1-0. There's a strike. And the count 1-1. We're taking a lot of time between pitches here. The set. And the 1-1 outside. Two and 1 the count.
It is interesting. Mendoza really does. He plays slow in the leadoff spot. I kind of like it for a guy that was kind of in a rush to create action last year.
I do think some of it is that the pitch timer is being activated a little late today. That might be what's slowing it down just a touch, helping him slow it down a little.
Yeah, fair. That is so interesting that every stadium the pitch clock has. That's a hard thing to have be perfectly uniform.
It's done a pretty good job in the big leagues on it, but it is a lot tougher in college, especially if you're in a place where they don't necessarily have the college rules. That one inside and the count's full. Three and two outs. Nobody on last of the 8th. Texas leading 10-9. Outside, ball 4. A 2-out walk.
This would be the no action zone for me with Mendoza. Let Max Ballou do whatever he's going to do here. I don't have a ton to show for tonight, but I don't feel like the at-bats have been poor. Just tough luck.
They're over on the runner's back.
Max Ballou, another one of those cool stories where, like basically didn't play as a freshman. And then the next year, after getting next to no playing time, is the Big 12 player of the year.
Well, he and Flores really had rough freshman seasons, but it's a little bit, feels a little bit like the James Tibbs story last year at Florida State. And it feels like Wyatt Langford of Florida, right? Barely played as a freshman, but I think that's kind of what's happening with a lot of freshmen. We talked about it before with Washington. They have a number on the roster, but only one of them playing regularly in the lineup. Runner back.
Even Jack Caglione, like as historic of a player as he was, it was the second half of his freshman year when things started to click. I mean, Charlie Condon literally redshirted his true freshman season.
Yeah, what did Langford have? 4 plate appearances?
4, yeah.
Fouled away.
Just pulled off. I mean, this really is a great matchup for Ballou. It's a right-handed slider guy without great velocity.
0-2 the count. The pitch. Upstairs, it's 1-2.
You know, the key for Ballou right here, you got to trust the guy behind you in Gasparino. You can't force this.
Popped up, fouling out of play.
How about Josh Emanuel's trying to go fastball in there?
Trying to speed him up to slow him down.
Yeah.
And at 89, I mean, it's not an overpowering fastball for sure. Instead of the 1-2, another throw to first.
That's one thing you could do. You could run Mendoza here because it almost certainly is going to be a slider here. And don't hate Ballou leading off the 9th if you have to hit in the 9th.
The 1-2. Upstairs, it's 2-2. I'm sure Texas would love to just finish it off. And we've reached 3.5 hours in this game now. Washington has to come back and play the early game tomorrow.
This game doesn't get to drive home tonight, Coach Farron.
No.
This game has lost its marbles.
Can you give it a ride?
I'm going to call in an Uber right now. Boy, if you're Emmanuel's, this is... Gasparino's so much better of a matchup for you.
Called strike 3. Just did clip the corner with a breaking ball, and the inning is over. 2-out walk, a man left. We head to the 9th. Washington and Texas separated by a run. Texas 10, Washington 9. We head to the 9th inning. Texas leading Washington 10-9. And the new pitcher coming on for the Texas Longhorns is the right-hander Max Grubbs, junior from Arlington, Texas. As we get a look at the upcoming games tomorrow, you see the rest of what's going on in the Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. Illinois and Washington tomorrow at noon Pacific. Followed by Texas and Texas Tech, their only meeting of the year. And then on Sunday, Illinois and Texas in the early game. Texas Tech and Washington in the late game. Max Grubbs looking for his second career save. Big 12 honorable mention for him a year ago. Mostly as a starter. The product of Arlington, Texas is going to try and protect a one-run lead. Blake Wilson, the scheduled hitter to lead off. So 9-1-2 due for Washington. They have been clawing back since going down 9-1, heading to the seventh inning. They've scored 8 times since then. They still trail by a run. Wilson 1 for 3. He has a bunt single and Rodriguez playing in. First pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1. Liner and one hop to short, glove by Flores. 1 out.
Next up, number 51, Sam.
Big leadoff man retired here in the 9th.
Feels like a huge out right there. They have been hard to come by late in this ball game.
Last 2 innings, Washington's had the bases loaded with nobody out in the inning. So just getting the leadoff man is a huge step forward. Here's Sam DiCarlo. He's got a pair of hits. Shortstop takes a strike. It's 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. In the dirt. One ball and 2 strikes. Check swing. Did he go? No swing.
Well, this game, this moment, this is an advertisement for your best hitter hitting second.
Yep. A.J. Guerrero's in the on-deck circle. He has a grand slam in this one. He'd love DiCarlo to get on ahead of him. Swing and a miss. Ran a sinker in under his hands, 2 outs.
Grubbs' sinker slider has been a starter, and just make the hitters respect both sides of the plate. That is well done right there.
Attacking the strike zone, and the last chance for Washington is A.J. Guerrero. Guerrero 1 for 3. That won a grand slam that helped to bring Washington back into this game. They're down a run in the 9th. He takes a ball low, 1-0. Texas trying to hang on to win. 2-0 to Guerrero.
This is a fitting matchup with Texas chasing 1 out to end this game. Bonkers.
2-0 the count. Popped up. Second baseman waiting for it. Mendoza has it. Grubbs works a perfect 9th, and Texas hangs on to beat Washington 10-9. Bruce, what a ball game tonight. I mean, this started with an epic pitcher's duel, and it turned into an offensive showdown.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Max Banks was awesome. Jared Spencer was awesome, and then it just got nutty at the end. And for Texas, this win comes at a cost because you are going to be vulnerable in your bullpen tomorrow night, but you'll take the W. And for Washington, again, just another moment that this coaching staff can point to as they build this program.
Going to look at some of the highlights from this one as Texas hangs on to beat Washington. 0-1 Washington, 0-1 Illinois will match up tomorrow. It's not an elimination game because it's not a regional. But the 1-0 game will be Texas and Texas Tech tomorrow afternoon. We're excited to be back at the ballpark with you tomorrow starting at noon Pacific time here on D1Baseball.com. An excellent night of baseball that included internet stars and huge home runs. And we hope you will join us again tomorrow. Now for Mike Rooney and our entire crew here in Las Vegas and beyond, I'm Mike Farron. Thanks for joining us on D1Baseball.com for the Las Vegas College Baseball Classic.